What do you think's going to happen this week? I mean, with the whole Russia thing.
The Russia thing is just a big nothing burger.
Really?
Also interesting to remember, it's illegal to possess these stolen documents. It's different for the media. So everything you learn about this, you're learning from us.
He could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think, and that is our job.
Yeah.
At this moment in history, as we're looking at efforts across the country to prevent people from being able to exercise their fundamental rights, prevent people from being able to exercise their fundamental rights.
I put the mics over the intro.
Are just not going to come back.
So we can start talking now,
And
yeah.
when somebody says
Because I mainly want to just do that
he's
right
going to
here.
bring all these jobs back.
Right here.
Well, how exactly are you going to do that? What are you going to do? I'm going to negotiate a better deal. Well, what magic wand do you have? How exactly?
Okay,
Are we on?
we are live.
Hold on, the world's almost over. I gotta finish this chapter.
Wait a second, what's going on here?
I don't know.
Here we go.
Yeah. All right, are we live yet?
We're live.
All right, I just gotta finish this. The world's almost over.
Spycraft?
World on fire. Yeah.
World on Fire.
That's a documentary.
It's a documentary book.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back.
Welcome back, back again.
If anybody actually showed, I don't know.
Thanks for tuning in to Sanctimonious American Men.
Randy, thanks for watching. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Randy, when you're coming on.
Gotta get Randy on.
Got to get Randy on. Make sure you smash that like button.
Make sure, yeah. Subscribe, notify. Do all the things.
Hit every button
Hit all
on
the
social
buttons.
media you can find.
You can find us here, and you can follow us.
You just give me
Here.
a call if you want.
Call me. You got my number. I'm on Facebook. You can message me.
Yeah, so back again.
Back again.
How was your week?
It was all right. It was. I was lazy this week.
Oh, wait a second. Wait, this is Barnes, by the way.
Sanctimonious.
Saintly, Sanctimonious Barnes.
With
And
me as always is Saintly Brandon.
hello.
And it was, I could have got done more done this week. I could have.
Did I do anything like super? I did a fair amount of good stuff this week.
That's good.
Would you slack on?
Everything. Just about.
Just about everything.
Just about. I could have done anything better this week. Yeah.
I did take time for myself this week in the mornings. Like, I made sure I did everything I wanted to do before I got to work. So before there was anything I did this week, I made sure I did a little bit of stretching. I played a little guitar, practiced, some scales and whatnot. I think I played the keys a good amount this week. Some practicing. So I carved out a little time for myself to be on track, do what you want to do, and then make sure you get what you got to get done.
Got to get it done. I mean, I got everything I had to get done, but I could have gotten more done.
Same here. I mean, I'm in the rears a little bit as far as like I got to get some cashola flowing.
Yeah. Donate. You can find us.
Yeah.
Here. Just give us cash.
Or just, buy.
Honk when you see me, stop. Give me some money.
Give me a quarter, Poppy. But yeah, we did more concrete this week. Jasper had to. Oh, by the way, Jasper's got some new shirts. The Catterskill Concrete Company. I should have left the fucking commercial up so we could play the commercial.
You can buy the shirts.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to buy a
colors.
Jasper shirt, let us know.
Yeah, we got some.
We got the Nam-Skate shirts,
Nam
Concrete
Skate.
Carney, Mars Rat shirts. We got to get our Sanctimonious Men
farts.
shirt together.
Yeah. I got jarred farts for sale if anybody's interested. Bath water. Yeah.
Pictures of your feet.
Pictures of my feet.
Who wants feet pics? Just
Fans only or whatever the fuck that's called. OnlyFans. Whatever.
Amber Heard's got an OnlyFans. No, this is a joke, but
I've never been on there. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I hear it's porno.
I think that's really what it is. I mean, we were discussing it on the trip. Remember, on the way down, like OnlyFans is basically for, it basically just brought
porn into the home.
Porn into the home. Yeah.
Now you can be a porn star.
It's like, hey, you want to make money like a porn star, and just you know, hook up to the internet.
Further degrading our society.
Uh-huh. I mean, I'm sure other accounts that aren't just filth. They do probably other things maybe, but most of it is just like perversion.
Right.
Perverts paying to see their neighbors.
Seeing their neighbors naked.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer it in real life, really.
IRL.
Yeah.
In real life. So if anybody wants to be perverted, just call Barnes.
Come on over.
IRL his ass. So yeah, concrete, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. What else the fuck? I printed some shirts this week.
Printed some shirts, huh?
Yeah. If anybody's got a great idea for t-shirts, just let me know. We could make it happen. Yeah. What else this week? It was a nice week weather-wise.
Yeah, it was
beautiful.
Decent,
a little warm, but
it's all right.
Hey, it's better than being cold.
Yeah, it is better than being cold. Fuck that. You know, when I was younger, I was the opposite, but now that I'm older, I'm like, it's too damn cold all the time.
Yeah, I think that's part of getting older. It's like, you know, your circulation's a little bit not as good, so you're like, I'd rather be warm than cold.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Can't wear pitch black in the middle of July anymore.
No, sweat your fucking cojones off. We got a new feature. You got anything you want to show real quick? Just a little heads up display on the new feature here.
Yeah, let me find something.
He's gonna find something, and we're gonna whip up our new technological advancements. And then we're gonna get to the news and maybe some other stuff. Who knows what? Maybe we can get Barnes to sing a song.
This guy here.
Okay, here we go. We're going to show you our new high-tech Barney cam, or Barney's laptop cam. Boom.
Now, the war in Ukraine has disturbed all our lives, right? But none more than the Gopniks of Ukraine. They can no longer squat because they can't get tracksuits into the country. This is why we're asking you to send an Adidas tracksuit to a Gopnik in Ukraine today.
Okay. See that guy? He needs your help.
This guy needs help too.
And Mr. Science always needs help. This guy, he don't need a lot of help.
Oh, what the hell is going on there? Dude? They're out of control up there.
Canada?
Now they're looking at record inflation too. It's like, what are you just following our fucking lead? Like, what the fuck?
They want to be like the cool kids.
I skip running away to Canada because it's on fire too.
Yeah, the whole world's fucked. You know, controlled collapse.
Yeah. They want it to make it look natural, though. I mean, this is Agenda 2030, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And those papers have been out for fucking 10, 15 years.
You know, I can't remember who it was at the IMF meeting. Just opening saying, like, oh, we're hoping to have 50% of the world's population, you know, decreased by 2023. We're well on the way, you know.
Well, you should find that clip. Fuck, I didn't see that one. They're trying to decrease it by half in 1 year.
That's what the guy said openly, just like openly in front, you know, a bunch of people.
In front of the IMF.
If I could dig that up again, yeah.
Wow.
You could find it. I know it's only a couple weeks old, so.
Jeez. Yeah, I haven't seen that clip. I mean, I showed some clips to some people that are kind of just the state of America's, the way people think and are so fucking. Joy Behar on The View, the clip was her saying, wait until blacks get guns and then you'll see the gun laws change here in America.
As if they didn't have guns before. Like,
I mean, how fucking dumb you gotta be.
Pretty fucking dumb.
That's one of the dumbest statements I've heard.
Yeah, because we know that gun violence in the black community has been a reality for fucking.
It's a problem for sure.
40 years.
I'm pretty sure blacks can get guns and own guns.
Yeah.
And she just said, wait till the blacks get guns, and then you'll see the gun laws change. She's like, how stupid and brainwashed you got to be into this identity politics to say such a dumb thing.
I was checking out a Soviet 38 this week. pistol.
Okay.
Yeah, it's it's like 100 years old. It's still in service in the war in Ukraine today. They're using it. They're using a lot of World War One guns over there for some fucking reason.
Yeah. Well, it's cool to give them billions of dollars to buy guns that nobody will be able to fucking figure out or keep tabs on where they're going. They're just going to flood that whole country with free guns for everybody from our taxpayers' money, and then they want to disarm us.
I'm not surprised they haven't asked people to donate their guns to Ukraine yet. How fucking far has this gone?
But yeah, at the same time they're doing that, they're like saying we don't need guns because, and it's like, wait a second, you see what's going on over there?
Right.
That's why we want guns too.
Yeah, because that could happen here.
So you want to give them the guns, but take ours away.
I don't know why we're insisting that only the government have guns. It's sad because, one thing I could say is, I used to think, these mass murderers were, 1 in a million. I don't know how many we've had in the last 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
So if there were 1 in a million, you would say, all right, well, then there'd be 330 of them, in a lifetime. But I don't know if we're past that or not. As far as mass shootings, there was a shooting in where was that the other day in Alabama? 2 dead. It wasn't. I don't think it was a mass shooting because only 2 people died or were shot.
Yeah, you gotta have 4 people supposedly for a mass shooting. And I don't know, there was one in a hospital a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if it counts if it's a suicide, as the gunman killed himself, so it was 4 in total, 3 dead, 1.
Suicides count as firearm deaths.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying, does it count towards a mass shooting if the shooter is he took his own life?
I don't know if that counts.
Yeah.
That's a matter of perspective.
But the gun numbers are totally skewed. As soon as you take suicides out of firearm deaths, it decreases by half or more. So everybody that's like, look at how many people are dying of guns. It's like, yeah, well, half of them are doing it themselves.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, doing themselves in.
God damn it.
And I'm pretty sure if they didn't have a gun, they might find another way.
Yeah, they would find it. If you're determined to kill somebody or yourself, you're going to do it.
Don't matter if you got a gun.
Yeah, or a doctor.
Like we were saying, I think last week or whenever it was, that if you look at stabbing deaths in other countries where there's no guns,
they're much higher.
They're way higher than ours.
But, we don't have the most deaths per capita from firearms, and we haven't for a long time, which I was surprised because of all the media. You would think that we would, but a lot of Latin American countries have more deaths per firearms per population than we do.
Latinx.
I also saw France one year had more, and Norway had more. I'm not even sure if they have guns in Norway. I know they hunt, but I don't know if they have a Second Amendment type thing that says God gave this to you.
What do you think about the whole Latinx? AOC is really pushing and getting hair up her ass because people aren't using Latinx instead of Latino.
I don't...
Because it's gender-based.
Well, yeah, it is gender-based, correct?
That's what Latina, Latino, that's why we want to call it Latinx with an X, or Latinx, whatever you want to fucking say, Latinx.
Well, did the Spanish weigh in on this at all?
I think they fucking hate it.
Okay, just checking. I mean, if we're going to ask somebody, maybe we should ask them first.
There's 2% of the Latin community that uses that word, and it's mostly, the ones that are as well brainwashed into the fucking the rainbow community.
Yeah, there's a lot of brainwashing going on in there. When I was in Meridia, there was a protest about these 2 statues, right? And this is quite a few years ago. And they're conquistadors, right? And I didn't know what was going on, so I found a guy that spoke English. And he told me. All right? And he's like, oh, they're, conquistadors, they committed genocide, yada, yada. And I could tell by looking at the dude he was Latino. So I asked him, what are you? And he said Latino. I said, what's that? Is that just Spanish? Well, that and, native. I thought they committed genocide. How? Maybe they attempted genocide. How about that? Because you're living proof they didn't pull it off.
Yeah. So anyways, AOC's going off on that. and everybody's like, "Shut up," because you're that's not the hill to die on when you have your political voice.
This country barely even speaks.
It's because she doesn't want to do anything for anybody except fucking just pretend like or act like she's an activist. She doesn't.
That's it all the time.
She's already sold the fuck out. Like,
yeah,
from
she's
the
a
get.
non-stop activist in office, and it's like, okay, but when you can actually pursue policies that help everybody, like maybe the whole country as a whole, not just like some special interest group or identity.
Just
group.
some friggin' keep your eyes off the. She's constantly taking the attention off of real problems.
Exactly.
Which is good for Biden.
Well, that's like when they were flipping out when Trump said something about he equated slaves coming to America as immigration, which Barack Obama did 11 times and nobody said anything, which
Well, it's the same. Yeah,
they definitely came to a new country. They definitely immigrated.
Well, I just can't stand. Well, I've said it before. You've heard me say it on the cast before. The people that don't have a memory, you can go back and watch Clinton and all the other presidents say the same shit Trump said, but if somehow, some way, when Trump said it, it was like he said it the first time anybody ever fucking heard it.
Yeah. That's another thing. Remember when people said, like, what did Biden run on? Like, he said he was going to bring down pharmaceutical prices. That never happened. Tuition reform, for student loan debts, that never happened. It's never gonna happen.
He's a fucking lying
SOB.
He said what? He said the health, like Medicare for all.
Yeah,
and the fucking.
It's all full of shit. And here's some things. Healthcare is run state by state, right? So each state's in charge of its own healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Democrats control some states. They control states that have high populations. It seems, the exception of Texas. So California, has been Democrat for 20 years now or so. How come they don't have universal health care?
Why isn't anything happening? All these people you voted, you supposedly most votes in American history for president, which I still call bullshit. And they got the House and the Senate, and they ain't doing anything.
Ain't doing any of the shit that it's all about Ukraine. And now suddenly, I got a thing delivered to me today from a Democratic candidate, and it was all about abortion. And I'm like, we live in New York. Abortion's going to be legal.
Settled.
Yeah, it's going to be legal. You don't even have to talk about that. That's the only talking point that they have. Roe versus Wade hasn't been overturned yet.
No, and even if they do,
it's still going to be
states legal. It's going to be legal in a lot of states.
Right. So this, it should be a wake up moment for people, but it's not, unfortunately. I don't know. And they'll just keep blaming it on somebody, the next guy down the line.
I'm looking up for another, since we were talking about how fucking shot they are. The quote about gas from Trump back in like May of while they were freaking campaigning
against each other. You're paying $7, $8, $9, $10 a gallon.
Yep.
He knew. That's why.
Trump predicts 7 per gallon gas under Biden.
What's funny is that China doesn't produce a lot of oil. It's not a big oil producing nation, but does produce green energy shit though.
Green?
Allegedly green.
This is the other thing. Like, I forget which dumb politician it was, a senator, a congresswoman, or something. They're like talking about their electric vehicle, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool. Yeah." The reporter, basically was shutting them up. He's like, "So where did you charge that?" And they're like, "Oh, right here at the building. I just plug it in." And he's like, "What powers the building?" And she's like, the grid, I guess. And it's like, well, what's powering this part of the grid? And she's like, I imagine it's coal. Yeah, power's got to come from somewhere. Electricity just don't come out of the fucking thin air.
No, not at least the way that we know it.
I mean, you can get a key and fly it around above your car like
right.
Ben Franklin. Maybe you're good.
There was
kites on on all the cars.
NASA had an idea years ago, but it fucking failed. Now, what they were trying to do is they made a tether, right? And it was just like a long piece of ribbon that was like 12 miles long, and they brought it into low Earth orbit so that it would circle around the Earth, and it would collect friction a little bit, whatever. Even though it's a vacuum, there's still some, and it would create electricity. It broke before they ever had a chance to test it, but that would have been possibly free energy.
Well,
how do you get it from space to here? I don't know.
Big Oil and Gas had an idea, a good idea, and it's basically anywhere that comes up with a water-based energy source or a car, you just kill them.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's why somebody needs to invent the water engine, the hydro whatever engine, and just post it on the internet and not expect to make any money off of it.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sure they'll figure that's when they hit the fucking internet off switch.
There is one, by the way.
Yeah, you were saying
the kill switch.
The kill switches, and I'm pretty sure Obama was fucking even beefed it up. You said it was existing during Trump's.
No, it started.
Bush.
Started with Bush. He was the first one to have a kill switch.
Yeah.
Which it's. I was reading some Italian translations from when the printing press came out, and how it changed society. And this was saying...
It changed it big time.
Yeah, it did. And they were saying...
Changed the whole world.
It did. And...
it's almost like a parallel to the internet.
Right. That's what I was thinking in my mind. And it was saying that the existing, power structure in Italy at the time was having a hard time keeping up with the printing press. Because, the printing press was getting information to people so quickly.
They couldn't control the narrative anymore.
Right. I'm like, that's exactly like the internet right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure.
History repeats.
Well, that's why that scumbag Klaus Schwab says we're going to have the fourth industrial revolution.
Somebody kill that fucker.
You can't. You kill him with kindness, please. But this good German fucking scumbag saying, basically fourth industrial revolution. Humans won't have to do anything except sit in their pods and eat bugs.
Yeah, fuck that. We're not eating bugs. I saw that. They're pushing the bugs.
The bugs over in London or something, or somewhere UK school, they're going to start feeding kids fucking...
Killing cows, eating bugs. What's going on?
You're going to start feeding them bugs in the fucking public schools.
No, this shit's kind of crazy.
I mean, I ain't got nothing against eating cicadas. I've done that my whole life.
You big
Cook them up in a little butter and... Really? Yeah, but it's only when they do the 17-year locust come around,
Well, I mean, that's like a delicacy then.
Yeah. I think it's a native thing. That's where it came from in the tradition of the family. It was always a thing that I always did on that side of the family.
The Asians, the far.
They'll eat anything.
They'll eat anything.
Cat,
whatever.
Dog.
Yeah, dog,
rat.
I remember Pat bought some dog home from China.
Remember Pat telling there's no cheese in China. That blew my mind.
No cheese, no. It's too much of a luxury item.
Why they're all thin.
Yeah, it's true. Less fat intake.
So, you ate some dog with him?
I mean, I tried a bit, but it tasted like chemicals. It was so many preservatives. The fucked up part was he dropped it for a second.
Yeah.
And Shaft the dog ate dog. We were just like,
cannibal.
What the fuck is going on?
Cannibal dog. Wow. So, you said there was a video of Biden
falling down his bike today. Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it.
Speaking of cannibals, this is gonna go down a fucking strange ass fucking rabbit hole. Have you heard about this BH Kids thing?
What is it?
BH Kids?
No.
This is straight like Pizzagate shit. So there's certain sites where if you go on them, I remember one was a Romanian fucking lingerie company. It was like Luminara or some shit. Luminora. Something like that. And you go and look on the site and you get exactly what you expect. But then you could put in BH Kids into the DuckDuckGo search or whatever Google search. I'm not sure. Maybe Google, but I saw it on DuckDuckGo. And it brings you back to links to the same site but there's like hidden rooms or whatever. And then like this one Romanian lingerie, it was like all kids and like lingerie. Like what the fuck? There's a bunch of sites like that where they have like these back doors, and I just found this out. One of them was a foster home in Boston. I think it was, its initials were BH, right?
Okay.
So it was like Better House or something like that, foster home for homeless kids in Boston. And if you go through their whole site, there's no mention of BH kids, right? And so
he took a tumble, that old fella.
Yeah, he did. He was standing still too.
Well, he's trying to get his foot out of the little thing, the toe thing that keeps your foot on the pedal, and the toe got caught, and he fucking thought it was out, and he went to step, and
that's happened to me.
Bada boom.
Sorry, but you went through that, President. But whatever.
Okay.
So
I mean, I was a little preoccupied watching old Joe fall.
On this site, it's a foster home, and there's you think, like its initials are BH kids, so you think, all right, maybe there's BH kids in here.
What does the BH stand for?
I don't fucking know.
Okay. But this is some sites that are popping up all over the place.
Right. There are, like, you go onto the site normally and you can't find these sections of the site.
Right.
But if you put in beach kids, suddenly there's extra room.
Content.
Yeah. Now, the thing about that part was, it's like, you think, like, all right, so maybe, the place's initials are BH, so maybe they call their kids BH kids. So I went through the whole thing. Nothing. Went through every link that they had. Nothing about BH kids. So why is this coming up on the search results when there's absolutely no mention of BH kids? Now here's where it gets really fucking strange. The woman that ran it
worked for Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
Jesus Christ! I was trying to make a joke, but it's the truth.
Yeah. She had some association with Hillary Clinton.
Oh my God!
Fuck, you gotta be shitting me.
Haiti kids, huh? BH kids. Maybe
Yeah.
Black Haiti kids.
Now, here's the thing about Haiti. All right.
Dude, they hate Hillary Clinton.
I'm sure they do. I'm surprised they haven't.
She came down there and fucking. I mean, I can't even remember what the fucking shit was, but she did some diabolical stuff down there.
Her aide got caught with kids.
Exactly.
Now there's this place called Navassa Island. All right.
Oh, I got it. BH kids, Bill and Hillary kids.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I didn't think about that. But there's this place called Navassa Island, right? And it's in between Haiti and Jamaica, basically. It's 35 miles off the coast from Port-au-Prince, right? The U.S. has claimed it since the 1800s. Haiti said fuck you since then. Most of the world recognizes it as U.S. territory. Haiti doesn't, right? There's nothing.
They like it. They like it.
Now, there's nothing there, right? There's just an old lighthouse that is out of use, right?
Okay.
So you can't go there. Like, nobody's allowed there because the U.S. Coast Guard patrols it and doesn't let anybody there unless they're Haitian, right? The Haitians are allowed there.
But not U.S.
Not
citizens.
U.S. You got it. It's underneath the national parks or whatever.
So let me get this straight. Okay, so it's like a reserve for Haitians or something?
No. It's a contested territory.
So they won't let citizens go there, but they'll let Haitians go there.
Yeah, Haitians can go there.
Okay.
Haitians don't. Usually the only ones that do are fishermen for whatever reason. All right, so you can't go there. You got to have special permission from the government.
Like Antarctica, special permission.
Not quite that much. But,
not that much. All right.
And it's a contested territory. Now, one thing about there's loopholes for traffickers, right, or smugglers.
Mm-hmm.
So if I take somebody from Haiti, right, let's say I go to Port-au-Prince on the island of Hispaniola, right, Hispaniola, where the majority of Haiti is, not the outlying, right. If I take you from Haiti, from Port-au-Prince, and I bring you to Navassa Island, right.
Okay.
Can Port-au-Prince say that I smuggled you out of the country? So if Port-au-Prince is claiming Navassa Island and I bring you to Navassa Island, did I take you out of the country?
I would say that's a negative. There's so much gray there that
Right.
You'll figure a way to put it however you want to
Right.
put it if you're an authority.
Now, I'm an American on Navas Island. I don't need to show my passport because I didn't leave the fucking States. I'm in the States.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge loophole for smugglers and fucking traffickers. They can evade international trafficking things by contested territories.
Jeez.
Well, that's been a thing for a long time, since privateers and fucking pirates. Now, here's the thing about Navas Island. All right, so it's desolate, deserted, right? Very few plants, very few animals. The entire island's made out of limestone.
Okay.
Now, limestone has some qualities, right?
Okay. Yeah, a lot of limestone on Earth.
A lot of limestone. Limestone's very soft, right?
Mm-hmm.
Easy to break and carve. Now, powdered limestone has a very special use, right? Very particular use to hide the smell of dead bodies.
Yeah. So the whole island's made out of dead bodies.
I don't know if it's made out of dead bodies or not, but Navas Island's an interesting place when it comes to Hillary Clinton and Haiti.
Did you see about that New Mexico Republicans refused to certify an election because they're claiming voter machine fraud?
Yeah, I saw that, and they banned Dominion machines. Now, here's something I saw this week. It was a Van Jones.
Nothing Burger, our favorite guy, a Nothing Burger guy.
So he was warning, he had a podcast or something. He was warning about how Donald Trump could allegedly steal an election or whatever.
Okay.
Or that the election could be stolen. And he was outlining all the things that are legal, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Trump could do once Biden wins the election or whatever, or could vice versa. And he thought that Trump was going to do this, but so he's warning about all this stuff, and now years later he's like saying, "Oh, it's illegal" or whatever. After he already.
Oh, you're saying this was at like older interview?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's from like 2019.
And now everything he's saying, basically that interview, you watch a new interview with him, they're completely fucking opposite of each other.
Yeah.
And he's lying now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Back then he was telling the truth.
He was telling the truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
that happens a lot. with these knuckleheads. These friggin' Brian Stelters.
Oh, he's the fucking worst. I love that Mark Dice fucking
does his voice all the time. And what are we gonna do? Yeah, he does it so fucking good.
Oh God, he fucking cracks me up.
Puts a little clown makeup on him. What about Fauci getting COVID?
Convenient, huh?
Yeah.
Supposed to be, in Congress getting railed by Rand Paul.
And he just comes up COVID.
Now, did you notice he didn't answer the question when it said, "Did you receive any monetary,
Yeah, money from the people who were sponsoring these fucking drugs.
Right. Did you get any money, any compensation for, recommending or approving Pfizer, this, that, and the other thing? And he didn't answer the question. He cited some law.
Yeah, he's an asshole. Saying we don't need the report if we do.
Yes. Right.
It's because they're fucking getting money.
They're getting money. Yeah.
A lot of money.
And it's like,
and he said it goes for all NIH workers.
Yes.
He's like, we don't have to report any earnings. He's a scumbag.
That pretty much wasn't it. If you didn't receive any money, you would just say no. Right? You wouldn't go citing some fucking law that says you don't have to say no.
Yeah. Yep. That's a pretty clear admission of, I got money. I got a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's the highest paid federal employee, and people are fucking worshiping like God. This guy brought you the AIDS epidemic, by the way.
Yep. But that's, that's knowledge that people just don't want to hear. They want to believe in Mr. Fauci. I still love the fucking dread Alex Jones. Hail Fauci! Hail Fauci!
He's screaming, yeah.
That was fucking hilarious. Dreadhead Alex Jones. Hail Fauci. Hail Fauci. Straight up pro wrestler voice going on. Jeez, that was funny.
So what do we got in the news this week?
Well, there was the Fauci thing. There was the AOC thing. There was the fucking New Mexico. That got a lot of the lefties pissed off because the Republicans, were saying we're not going to certify, and they got them scared because they're like, what if fucking they all do that? And it's like,
what if this catches on?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm at. I'm just like, with these voter machines, you can't trust fucking shit. So it's, don't, do the due diligence, which like they didn't do after the last presidential election. They're just like, nope, you're crazy. You're a conspiracy theorist. If you think anything could have been wrong, you're nuts. And it's like, well, there's been voter fraud in the past. Maybe not enough to sway elections, but it's there. Can't you just look at it? And they're like, don't look.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm. That to me is same as like Fauci admitting like, well, there's a law that says, fucking we don't have to. And it's like them being so aggressive in their stance that we don't even, how can you question it? Why would you want to question it? It's like, well, why can't you? It's fucking America.
Right, it's America. You should be able to question it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're allowed to look like a moron if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
In this country.
Yeah.
And it's, go for it.
So, yeah, and along those lines, I don't know who this fucking mutt is, but some judge, I guess it was at the January 6th show trial, calls Trump supporters a clear and present danger to American democracy.
That's ridiculous.
They really want to scare the shit out of grandma.
When anybody tells you that when someone else votes,
it's a
danger to democracy, tell that person to fuck off. I don't care which way the vote is going. Voting is never a danger to democracy. That's like when they were going off on Joe Manchin for voting against them. He's a danger to democracy. By how? Voting? Like, what the fuck?
Dude, they're fucking gone psychopath. And I hope people are waking up and realizing that they are just being basically gaslit into a club of fucking maniacs.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you're being told that if you're not with us, you're against us. And I don't see that from the Republican side as I see it as from the Democrat side, where somebody, maybe it was Jimmy Dore, or maybe it was someone else, I don't know. They said the exact thing that the left is doing right now is what the old left complained about Republicans. It's like you're trying to like push your dogma on us.
Yeah.
And you're trying to do it with force. So, like back in the 80s or whatever, when all the, Democrats were like, no, we don't fucking, you just, keep your church to yourself and have at it, but don't come and try and make laws based on
right
on your friggin' views, and don't try and, push my life around because of your views. Well, that's exactly what the left has turned into now, like the old Republican Party.
Dude, they're trying to censor shit left and right. It's like
same thing the old Republican Party tried to do.
If I do, I can't do that because like I should win on my merits of my argument, right?
I mean, what the fuck? McCain tried to censor Mortal Kombat, didn't he? Or was it more? Or it wasn't. McCain tried to censor UFC. That's what it was.
Why?
But the video game rating system, like you said, the fucking Satanic Panic, the fucking Satan Rock. It's like all that stuff came from the right back in the day. Now it's coming from the.
What's her face? Al Gore's wife, Tipper Gore.
Tipper, yeah.
She was the one behind the parental advisory warnings on music.
On music, yep. But a lot of that stuff, it's just like, it's what the left's doing now, except they're going after, like what we were talking about before the show. You can't generalize, someone, or you're marginalizing people. Maybe I was talking with Chris about that. It wasn't you. But, they're coming after people for thought crimes.
Yes, thought crimes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on. Yep. And that's unfortunate, And there's a lot of money behind it, trying to shut this shit down.
Look at all the rainbow stuff going on all these corporations. They're pumping in a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, they are. I mean, all of them. All of these big corporations are pumping Pride Month or whatever.
Except for in Asia, Africa, and Middle East.
It's just a normal day, right? And that's another thing about Biden when he went to fucking beg for fucking oil. That was days after.
He's a beggar.
Days after, celebrating Pride, right, at the White House. He goes to Saudi Arabia to beg for fucking oil. And
the fucking fool is blaming, the oil companies. And it's like, dude, you just shut down all their pipelines and their fucking leases and the fucking everything that, that made gas flow out of American companies, you took a shit on.
Right.
And now you're yelling at them and blaming them. It's like, what the fuck's going on here? It's like, I don't know what's going on up there amongst the elite, but fucking, they are I don't know. Big oil, I'm not a big fan. Like we said, they probably killed a lot of fucking innovation. But I still like my fucking $1.02 or $50.75 gas.
Yeah, this gas shit.
I mean, we all gonna get horses and shit now? Fuck electric
fucking
cars.
Amish.
Yeah, the Amish are fucking loving life right now. They're just going past the fucking gas station, being like,
fucking Jesus. $5 a gallon.
Can't wait to build a fucking roof today.
We're heading for crazy inflation, man. It's gonna look like the Depression.
Yeah, I feel like some of my siblings are finally starting to get the picture. They're like, I'm just saying that next year sometime, it could be hitting the next Great Depression could be hitting.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's going to be tough.
It is going to be tough.
I mean, I wanted to start a garden this year, but next year I believe I'm going to have to.
Yeah, you're going to
just to sustain, subsidize the loss of fucking, price or food, whatever
right.
the fuck.
I got to get some Patriot Supply.
The old Patriot Supply.
Yeah, that's on my want list.
If you want to sponsor us, Patriot Supply, go for it.
Dude, go for it. Give me a couple cases.
We'll say it all night long.
All night long.
We'll do a dance.
I'll eat it on air.
We'll just sit here eating Patriot Supply on air.
Good for 25 years.
It's good now, too.
So what else we got news? I got something here. Local news. It's a little controversial.
Okay.
Saw it on PDH.
WPDH.
So Columbia County and Dutchess County are not going to recognize Juneteenth. June 19th.
Oh, we better call Morgan Freeman.
I know. He doesn't want to.
He could give a shit less, I bet.
He doesn't. He probably doesn't want it.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman, Denzel. These guys are the ones that are speaking truth.
Oh yeah.
And people don't like it when they hear it.
I'm proud of Denzel because I always thought he was I don't know, black nationalist or something because he played
Malcolm X. Shut the fuck up.
But yeah, I'm proud of him. He seems based.
Yeah, there's a lot of based people of color, and all those people get turned into Nazis, just like anybody else that doesn't say the narrative.
That's like when they were going on about the Proud Boys and the founders fucking
Enrique. Yeah.
All right.
And Candace Owens and friggin'
oh yeah, Candace is great.
There's
a lot of prominent
Officer Tatum and friggin'
Jericho Green.
Yeah.
Larry fucking
Gothics,
Larry Elder.
Oh geez, Larry Elder's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he is. I watched Uncle Tom this week. That was good.
Refresh my memory.
So Uncle Tom is a movie. I think it's on Netflix.
Was it a documentary?
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was, yeah.
And it's just an interview of all these African American individuals talking about their political views and how they found success. And because they found success, it deals a lot with the being black in America, which I have I don't got that radar. Like you're black to me. I don't know. Fucking, I don't know.
The radar, like you're not like
black enough or something, right?
That's a horrible position to be in.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy that goes on.
I mean, I've seen it. I'm sure it happens with all races, and not enough people talk about that. Like with natives and also imagine blacks and also Asians. There's I mean, Halle Berry has talked about it. Halle Berry, and she's like, it sucks because you're like in a position where you have these different heritages and neither one really fucking accepts you,
right?
Or just gives a shit because they're like, oh, well, you're just a fucking. You're not enough, like you said.
Right. It's a strange idea, like it's almost not like what the Nazis did with, German purity or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're not black enough. You're not German enough. Like, it's just strange. But so this whole movie is just about African Americans who didn't follow the culture that dominated African Americans in the Western society. So they're mostly conservative, not all, but they're mostly conservative. And a lot of it is about them realizing that they were conservative and that a lot of things about their community was conservative and the people that they knew were conservative. Were saying one thing and then voting a different way.
Yeah, because they're being hypnotized by what people call the Democratic plantation.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And
because they're really like taking not their culture, but they're putting them on to a like you'd say the services like welfare or whatever.
Right.
It's kind of just like a way to take away their power.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
as a community.
That's the thing. Like, my mom would always say, like, Michael, my job is to make it that you don't need me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's my job, so that like eventually she said this to me when I was little, one day you just won't need me. You won't need a damn thing from me, like at all. Like that. And it's true with any relationship. You don't want someone who's trying to make you dependent on them all the time,
that's a red flag.
Yeah, it's a red flag. That's something that corporations do, trying to make you dependent on them all the time.
Jesus, Arby's almost got me the other day.
We've got the meats.
I was like, they've got. I hardly ever went to Arby's, but some commercial the other day, I was just like, they did a good job. I was like, I feel like I want to go there.
Yeah. But, so, like, when the government offers to take care of you, now you're dependent on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not independent of them.
Sounds like what's going on now on a mass level.
Yes.
They're trying to make everyone dependent. So you can't travel without their little card. You can't fucking use your money if you don't have it digitized.
Right.
Yeah, you see, like, I saw one the other day saying, please pay. I think it was a Burger King. Like, or no, some place was like, please pay with exact change because of the whatever what the fuck, like cash and coin shortage. And I'm like, that's the same shit they tried to do during the pandemic, is get everybody off of fucking
cash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a big thing because then they can control it.
Yeah.
In a lot of countries now, Russia just went towards gold. We thought we were going to kill the ruble, but the ruble's doing better than ever.
Yeah, they tied it back to gold standard. Right?
Tied it back to gold standard.
And then what was that country you said just got some freedom coming to them?
Oh, yeah. Uganda just said, hey, we found a bunch of freedom. $3 trillion worth of gold they found.
So keep your eyes on the newspapers for invasion of Uganda. Something's going to happen there. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I can't picture the world's power saying, yeah, Uganda will be the richest country now. Sure. No.
Oh. Or, who knows what? Let's go into some conspiracy theory. Maybe all that gold was what was just taken from everybody's coffers over the years, like Fort Knox and,
put back in the ground.
And they just put it in the ground, and like somebody was like, I'm going to buy that property, and then I'm just going to pretend to find it.
Nazi gold in Uganda.
Yeah. All smelted down into like little
Eddie Admin stash, right? Is that his name?
You never know.
Last King of Scotland, that's that guy's name. Eddie Admin, right?
I don't know. The last king of Scotland.
So I'm pretty sure that it was about a Ugandan leader, right? I think his name was Eddie Adim. And it was during the time in the 70s where there was a lot of what is the word I'm looking for? There was a lot of like Afro empowerment movements happened throughout Africa, right? And some guy declared himself the king of Africa or something. One of the leaders, I can't remember. Selassie I was looked up to as the next big black leader to come out of Africa, and Eddie Amin was one of them. He was a Ugandan. He was in the military, and I think he took over for a coup, and he was fucking brutal. He would slaughter people he knew, and if you betrayed him, you got you chopped up little parts.
Jesus.
Yeah, he was really bad. He gained a lot of popularity because he had a big mouth, and he stuck up to the West, particularly UK. And so he got a lot of attention. And initially, Uganda did improve, but then, they killed everybody. He was paranoid.
Where were we going before the... we were talking about Russia and the ruble and the gold and...
controlled collapse of Western society.
It's going well, people.
It's going well.
It's going well, and you're part of it, and you're on the ride.
Yeah,
whether you know it or not.
We did talk about the January 6th thing a little bit. I did try to watch it, and the funny thing is like I haven't watched any of it, right? Not even a speck. And so I was like, all right, I'll try it out. I saw that NBC had it scheduled, so I turned on NBC. I got to see like 30 seconds, and they're like, we're gonna break for golf.
You know why? Because the ratings came in, and they realized nobody wants to fucking watch it. Their regular news ratings, like for every day, like during the week, all these channels, CNN, ABC, CBS, all their ratings went down. It's like normally they're just nightly news coverage has got fucking millions of more people watching. Nobody fucking gives a shit about January 6th because most rational people realize it's fucking a joke.
It was a joke. Basically.
They were let in the fucking building. Trump didn't call for them to fucking like take over the world.
No, he didn't.
It was just a bunch of knuckleheads that fucking caused a little trouble and turned shit, and a lot of it too was instigators.
Instigators, right. And none of those people
agitators.
It's funny that those people on, videotape were calling for the break-in of the Capitol aren't actually being charged.
Prosecuted. They're right there, clear as day.
Speaking of breaking in the Capitol, Stephen Colbert's crew, huh?
Yeah, Colbert.
Staffers arrested.
Let's see what happened here.
9 staffers broke into the Capitol, aided by Adam Schiff.
Yeah, Shifty Schiff.
Why is that guy in the middle of everything?
There's something wrong with that guy. And I don't know. I can't fucking put my finger on it, but it's like the guy's got to be like trained, fucking CIA or something. Because he's always fucking in the middle with his finger.
In the middle of it, right? Now, I'm not sure if he's related to this Schiff, but there was a banker named Schiff back in the 1800s, right? That helped set up.
I don't fucking know. Here's the story of these guys. On June 16th, 2022, at approximately 8:30 p.m., U.S. Capitol Police received a call for a disturbance in the Longworth House office building. Responding, officers observed several individuals, unescorted and without congressional ID, in a 6th-floor hallway. The building was closed to visitors, and these individuals were determined to be part of a group that had been directed by the USCP to leave the building earlier in the day. So they were told to leave earlier in the day. They were charged with unlawful entry. This is an active criminal investigation and may result in additional criminal charges after consultation with the U.S. attorney.
So the government, we have continuity of government going on, or is Stephen Colbert president?
Yeah, right.
He tried to become president, didn't he?
The group took photos and videos near offices of Representative Lauren Boebert and House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy. They were probably just doing some dumb spoof shit, trying to make fun of him. And the fact, though,
I don't
is
know.
that...
I mean, that's what you think, but maybe they were there trying to
plant some shit?
overtake the government.
Shut the fuck up.
How do I know? I wasn't there. That's
the
my
doors
concern.
weren't opened up for him, I can tell you that.
My concern is that they were trying to overthrow the government, Brandon.
Here we go. This is a great one. January 6th theater is pushing swing state voters away from Dems. Yeah, it's because everybody can see the bullshit. It's falling fast. The collapse is happening fast. As far as like, the only way they're going to be able to win any elections this year is with fucking Dominion voting machines fucking cheating.
Roe versus Wade. They're going to push Roe versus Wade.
Dude, nobody cares about it with $7 gas.
True.
Nobody's going to fucking care about anything.
True.
They're going to be like, what are you doing, you bum?
I mean, I hope. I thought that was pretty evident.
I saw the polls from CNN, and they're like, fucking abortion is at like, if people are, like 6% they care about it. It's like not a big fucking deal. And then fucking January 6th is like fucking 12%. Fucking, there's all this shit, and then you get the economy, and it's the economy, stupid, as it always is.
Yeah, it is the economy.
And it's like
foreign policy.
Inflation and gas was like fucking over, I don't know, 46% of voters are fucking concerned about the most important fucking issue.
Right. And I'm concerned about Ukraine,
Yeah, war. That's another one.
Because that whole thing is starting to collapse too. Now we're finding out we had biolabs there. Putin's been in the UN proving his case. And
I haven't seen any of that coverage because I live in a fucking safe bubble from facts in the American media.
Yeah, the American media is very safe.
So, yeah, that normally, 10 years ago, this would be all over the news.
That should have been all over the news.
It'd be breaking news with fucking Dan Rather.
We have secret bases.
We have secret bases in Ukraine.
Now, supposedly they were taking people from Ukraine that wouldn't be missed, mentally ill people, homeless, and testing shit on them. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's
Stranger
what the report says.
Things. I'm going to listen to some Kate Bush.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's a Kate Bush fan now.
Yeah, it happened quick, huh?
Everybody's like, oh, she's the bestest. And this is true. She is the best.
She is, but that,
But it's just fucking...
Running Uphill is her most...
It's not one of her greater... I mean, I love the song.
I love the song, too, but it's not...
There's so many other fucking good songs.
And...
I mean, to me, that's just like her 80s song.
It's the most... What's the word I'm looking for? It's not very much a good representation of her as an artist, I don't think.
No. Listen to Wuthering Heights.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Fucking
she
Snow.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not, I guess Running Up the Hill is what I'm trying to say is Running Up the Hill isn't stereotypical of her writing style, I guess.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I feel like it was an 80s vibe, because she was in that moment doing that stuff that everybody was doing in the 80s. Whereas before that, like her 70s albums were her just fucking ripping.
Yeah.
What is Babushka, the fucking...
Yeah.
That's a fucking...
That was some late night fucking MTV shit.
Mm-hmm.
And she also did like Peter Gabriel.
Yeah, that was...
Don't give up.
Yeah.
You're still fine.
Peter Gabriel. She's. I'm pretty sure it was Dave Gilmour that got her signed. She was a friend of the family, and he was just totally impressed with her and was like, "You got to start making music."
Dude, I listened to fucking Division Bell this week. I love the Division Bell, which isn't popular amongst Floyd fans, but I think it might be my favorite album. And David Gilmour's guitar work is just fucking sick.
He's amazing.
He
is
really is.
Simply amazing. I've always been like, whenever talking, I used to get our friends all pissed off, like they were like Clapton fans or so-and-so fans. I'm just like, dude, Gilmour's guitar work is not meant to be, it's beyond like most guitar stuff where it's like he's like singing through his guitar.
Yeah.
There's just like, and that's what I always used to piss off our one particular friend. I'd be like, the real slow hand's David. It ain't fucking Clapton. That's fucking the slow hand.
Clapton was a scumbag.
I've heard.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know him, but he just got fucking the shit kicked out of him because he got, his hands hurt by the vaccination and fucking
really?
he spoke against it. Yeah, it like crippled his hands after he got the vax. And
can't sue.
No, he can't sue. But he was speaking up against it, being like, and he was even saying, he's like, my kids, they don't want to listen to me. They're brainwashed. And he's like, I don't even know if he's made up with his family or what yet, but he went through the ringer during the pandemic as far as like getting hate on.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh,
because he got fucking.
He was anti-vax, huh?
He got fucking white pilled by getting fucking sick.
I know people who were anti-vax their whole life. This came around and
sign me up.
Signed up right away.
Yep, pharmaceutical companies are great. Why would you ever see anything against them?
Big pharma. Fucking so Julian Assange.
He's getting extradited.
He's not even a fucking American citizen. We're extraditing him. I don't think he's ever even been here.
That's some power.
That is power. Now the thing about this is,
I wish friggin' Trump had fucking pardoned him. Fucking dummy. He probably might have. I don't know. Even if he did, the idiots out there would have been like, he pardoned a traitor, because
he's not American. He can't be a traitor.
Well, whatever. They would have pumped something in people's heads. I mean, people are still on the left act like he's a truth teller, and just because you're being told to hate him, like you're being told to hate Trump, Elon Musk, all these people that speaking fucking truth. You're being told to hate these people speaking truth because they don't want you knowing the truth. And WikiLeaks, it's like during the Bush years, everybody loved it.
Yeah,
that was on the left. They're like, yay, he's gonna bring that Bush bastard down.
Right.
And then when it turned on them, oh well, he's releasing sensitive, security stuff. It shouldn't be allowed to do that.
He's a journalist. And why aren't the other journalists doing that?
Well, this is also the signal of like they've gotten regular people. They took out Alex Jones, and then they moved on to all the little scrubs like fucking like people that start podcasts like this, and fucking they can be erased now off the internet.
I've seen it.
So
this
now
is the truth gone.
Now this is the death of journalism. Whatever happens to Assange is going to be a nail in the coffin for anybody that's like, oh, I have a source and this and that. It's going to be like, no, you don't. You're fucking going to jail.
Right. And I feel like this is going to be connected to Seth Rich, because Assange hinted that his source was Seth Rich. He hinted in an interview in the Netherlands that, his source was, he didn't say him by name, but he described the death scene,
Yeah. Well,
talking about how serious his sources were and what kind of game it is. So it's going to be interesting to see what he has to say. There
was so much stuff about that. I mean, I've forgotten most of it, but like how that data got out of the servers, it wasn't, they said it couldn't have even happened on a thumb drive or anything like that,
right,
because the data transferred too fast.
Too fast, so it had to be in person.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the great things about that dump that I saw that was overlooked, there was some alien stuff in there.
There's alien stuff in there.
There was, but most of it, was just bullshit conversations between fucking Democrats.
Yeah, but okay, I'm gonna get back to that in a second.
But in the one, there's a few messages where there's very clear, could be sarcasm, whatever, where they're talking about, Hillary says sacrifice a chicken to Moloch in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
The other chick saying, the kids would definitely be in the pool to Bethesda.
Yep.
Now, the one thing about that,
it's pretty strange.
Strange. He maybe just like playing with the kids. I don't know. But the thing about that is the names of those fucking kids are named after old occultist.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other part of those fucking Podesta ones are they're talking in code, and the code is in the FBI handbook for fucking pedophiles.
For pedophiles, yes.
So it's like, are they why isn't anybody like care about it? It's like, if they're using code, shouldn't you find out what they are saying? Maybe it has nothing to do with kids. But why would you use pedophile code in the first place?
In the first place, right. That's the strange part. And another thing is like that Jamie Alphonsus, right?
Not familiar.
So James Alefantis, he's the Pizzagate dude, right?
Is he the one that went down in the basement, or
he's the guy that owned Comet Pizza?
He's the guy that owned the Comet Pizza.
First of all, his name is Jamie Alefantis, right? Now, if you translate that, put a little apostrophe in his name into fucking French, I love infants. Jamie.
That's not a coincidence.
Infant. Yeah. That's cool. This guy has so many fucking pictures with pedophiles of him and him. It's like, what the fuck is going on? How does he know these people? Like, this is the shit that just is like makes me not think everything's fake all of a sudden, because I'm like, what the
just
fuck?
the goddamn pictures on some of the walls in there, of some of the videos. You're just like, why would you have that? Why?
I don't know why.
Because you're fucked in the head.
Right.
You're really just fucked in the head.
That's it. You know, and
because otherwise you don't have those types of pictures on the wall.
That's like Tony Podesta's artwork. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Is it all about? And he's got this one picture of all these kids tied up in a pool. They got their red shoes on and whatever.
Yeah, all symbolism.
The pool has a very specific pattern. It's a very unique looking pool. Just so happens that one of the Vanderbilt pools is exactly the same, with this unique tile pattern.
It's Anderson's pool.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, there's just like, when you're just crazy if you do your own research or anything like that.
But it's not even like research.
You're a conspiracy theorist.
And there's only so much research you could do on the internet, to be fair.
True.
But what gets me is like, stop doing the shit that we say you're going to do and then blame it on something else. Like, or stop doing like the stuff that, like June 19th was always like, that was the day the Rothschilds became the richest family. They, enslaved the world through money. It was the day after Waterloo when they tricked all the English into fucking thinking that their society was going to collapse by printing that Napoleon had won the war. And so there was no army between London and fucking Waterloo. And people sold all their shit, and the pound went way down, and the Rothschilds and brought it all up cheap.
Well, what were you saying about the that before? Like, because it is exactly what's going on. The it's not projection, but the like reversal of whatever you're pointing at the other person and doing. It's like the whole thing with Hillary saying, he's a Russian, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
inversion.
Yeah, the inversion. That's exactly what is going on in most things I see.
Inversion's a very powerful tool.
Mm-hmm.
Major religions have used inversion for a long time. So Judaism basically begins when, Abraham. Did we talk about this before on a podcast? Abraham goes to sacrifice Isaac, and his hand is stopped by two angels, right? So Abraham was going to sacrifice his child to God, and he was stopped by God, allegedly. Now, the inverse of that is Christianity, where God sacrifices his child for man, right? It's kind of like the opposite of what was happening before. Yeah. Inversion's very popular. And
let me see. Well, here's this idiot fucking Hunter Biden. It's like, there we go again. Like them pointing the fingers at Trump for the Ukraine call.
Oh, dude,
we want to impeach him because you don't want to give Ukraine money. And it's like, oh, but you guys have given him money, and you got your dad right on fucking camera saying, basically, you bribed Ukraine.
Yeah, he did. He blackmailed them, basically.
Blackmailed them.
You either do this or you don't get that. It's that's very popular in today's culture. It's coercion, right? So either get the jab or you can't go here, have this job.
You can't be part of society.
Right. Either write what we want or you can't blah, blah, blah. Don't write this, because if you write that, it's like that crazy HR chick up in Canada saying, we're not going to hire you and all this. That's that's coercion. Do this or else.
It's pretty fucked. And I'm not a big fan of this new culture of, like you said, coercion culture. And anybody that's out there doing it, fuck you.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like, apologize, otherwise you'll
you.
be canceled. You're gonna get canceled anyway, So,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of things. This is something that drives me crazy in our fucking society. About maybe 10 years ago, I decided. It took me a while to get it, but I decided, the most important thing to me is my integrity, and one of the ways that I can garner integrity.
They actually don't want people to have integrity anymore.
And it's so prevalent in our society. I'll show you why. Because I just stopped saying things that I didn't mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got tired of repeating myself. And then I realized the reason why people keep asking me to repeat myself, even they know that I'm not going to change my mind, because I already told you the truth the first time.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they're not used to people knowing themselves and being that honest all the time, right? Because repeating myself is one of my pet peeves. Like, I just, and
what was that?
And so, the whole society is lacking moral integrity, I feel like.
Yeah.
You getting that buzz?
Yeah, fuck it. It'll disappear.
It did.
Good.
Yeah, so once I really started to like
just being honest and stop fucking bullshitting.
Not that I was dishonest before, but I really started to covet my integrity in all things. And I noticed that, like, people just aren't honest that way. And that's why people keep repeating things and asking you twice or three times, because they expect you to change your mind, because people do that so often.
Mm-hmm.
Or people do things because of protocol or whatever. They don't want to seem one way or another. I mean, it made me realize it's not me. I'm just.
What? Go ahead.
It's that, and it's not the person that's asking me's fault for repeatedly asking me. It's our whole society's like that.
Well, I remember being a big fan of, like, John Cleese, and a lot of people were, but I feel I got watching A Fish Called Wanda a lot, and then I got into, like, the movie a little bit, watching some of the behind the scenes stuff. And I remember there was an interview, I believe it was John Cleese, where he's like, the fucking United Kingdom society so goddamn polite that they're like have lost their humanity, because they're just so goddamn afraid of being impolite,
right?
That they're fucking like muzzling themselves,
right?
And I saw that creeping over here. I felt like after a while, I'm like, oh, it's coming here. And I see it now, and it was the politically correct bullshit.
That stuff I didn't really notice to Obama.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It was like, I'm watching this fucking Fish Called Wanda shit, like, 20 years ago, and being like, yeah, I can see how the British are kind of fucked.
Yeah.
And then you see it slowly coming over in, like, the 2000s and 2011. It's, like, fucking starting to really get going, where people are, like, pre-fucking cotton candy head days, where you're like, oh, it's starting to pop up more. I started to see more people in their safe spaces.
Right.
They want these safe spaces in college now, and
right.
this and that. And if you say anything, you're fucking
something.
Yeah.
Some kind of ist.
So the integrity is dying because people are being too polite.
Right. I didn't notice it until the bank bailouts, really, because I voted for Obama the first time, and then the bank bailouts happened. I'm like, this is fucking fascism. You're just a racist. No, Obama fucking sucks. This is fascism. We're bailing out the richest people in the fucking country with taxpayer money. This is absurd.
But it's okay, because they need the money.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Folks need the money.
And it's like, really? And that's when I first started to notice, like, wait a second, we can't criticize Obama at all. And I was still a Democrat, pretty much, sort of at this time. I did join the Whigs, and other groups.
That's awesome.
But that's when I first started to notice, like, holy shit, you can't talk about things because people are just gonna start accusing you of shit that's not fucking totally random out of nowhere, you know?
Yeah.
And I also said McCain won the election for Obama the first time. People are like, no. I'm like, he's out there campaigning saying he's a good guy because he doesn't want people to get all racist at his fucking rallies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which, I think McCain tried to do the admirable thing there. Admirable. But
I mean, McCain shot himself in the fucking foot.
He did.
Because he's just a goddamn, he's just supplying ISIS before that. And I'm just like, I see, I don't want this guy. He's fucking supplying fucking terrorists with fucking weapons and
meeting the heads of ISIS.
Yeah.
And there's video of him in fucking Ukraine in 2016 telling them that we're going to take the war to Russia. There was no war going on in 2016, by the way.
I just think that, like, McCain was, to me, I mean,
he was compromised somehow.
Obama was supposed to change everything, and he didn't change shit. He made it worse.
He did.
And that's when I was like, oh, okay, we're really screwed because the integrity of everybody's. I mean, Bush is a scumbag, and I hated his guts, and
I hated Cheney.
I think Cheney was I hated Bush because he was just a dumb fuck, and when people are like, oh, looking back now, Bush wasn't such a bad president after Donald Trump. I'm like,
are you?
No, that guy was a fucking moron. Trump is just not that eloquent with his fucking giving a fuck. He says some dumb shit, but he's not like stupid, which Bush was stupid.
Low IQ.
Yes.
I wasn't a big Bush fan either. I was very critical of Bush. I thought, 9/11 was an inside job. I still feel it might have been something we're not being told the truth about.
Why would fucking
am I going to argue with that with people? No.
Cheney fucking order all of
right
our North American defense system
down. And it was totally in his hands that hour.
Totally in his hands, and he just ordered a fucking stand. Or there was like an exercise in Canada, or part of it was like there was no jets fucking anywhere to do anything.
Yeah, how do they know that? Like it gets into pretty conspiratorial. Like I read the 9/11 report, and even the report was the investigation through it. That book, it was a long read. It was boring. I had to.
You read that whole damn book?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. I knew it wasn't worth a shit. Fucking after all the scrap was fucking taken to China.
Immediately to China.
It was just like there was no investigation.
There was none. That's what I'm saying. They botched shit on purpose.
Yeah.
And they got stonewalled. And that.
And they found a passport.
Yeah,
that's convenient. If you believe that.
That was the end of it for me.
You need to. What would a person have to do? What would you tell a person to do with themselves if they believed they found a passport and they couldn't find the black boxes? I mean, if someone truly believed that, I would have to tell them to go back to fucking kindergarten or something.
Leave me alone.
Just don't ever talk to me again.
Yeah, just leave me alone.
You fucking mutt.
That's when I dropped out of the 9/11 official fucking narrative. Because at first I was like, all about it, and then they found the passports, and I was like, "What? The buildings fell down, but you found the passports somehow? Come on, that's bullshit. Like, it should have made
there's something shady going on here, and you're not telling me what it is.
They should have made the fucking Twin Towers out of fucking Saudi Arabian passports.
Jesus,
apparently those are indestructible. But that was definitely the point when I was like, something's wrong, something's not right.
Yeah, yep. And
I remember this moment. I was sitting on Jack's couch, we were watching TV, and they said it, and I was just like, something's wrong.
That was a great. Whatever you want to say about that fucking thing, whether you believe it or not, but that it was a fucking psyop.
Oh yeah.
And the one that was pulled off the past 2 years was even better. than fucking 9/11.
That brings me back to Divergent. I watched that movie last night. It was a bit confusing. It was slow, but it was about a pandemic after a nuclear war or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, you were telling me about this before the show, but also a couple months back, I believe you brought up this movie Divergent.
I think that might have been a different movie, but
this is an older movie, right?
It's from 2018. So
okay.
It's not that old.
Yeah,
but
I've heard of it.
There's more than one movie called Divergent.
Okay.
Which I was surprised to find out. And there's also a Divergence. But it's they have this quarantine zone where they have everybody in. You're not allowed out. Guy's trying to save his wife. He had the cure, but he gave it to the wrong person. They didn't provide it out. So I'm not sure if it's time travel or him just like he daydreaming. I'm not sure. There's like no mechanism for him to time travel. And presented in the movie.
Okay.
It's not like he has a time machine or something. Suddenly he's in the past and he's like looking at himself and he like confronts himself. It was a little weird, that part. I'm not exactly sure what was going on. But the premise was that, dystopian future, yada, yada, yada. Guy has a cure, gives it to Big Pharma. They use it to kill people and don't provide the cure.
You ever see that Jack showed me this a while back, and I got to admit, it's pretty peculiar. What about it's a YouTube channel with like some guy that's supposedly in the future and there ain't no humans around.
Yeah, I've seen that. And he gets into some pretty like secure places.
Yeah.
Now, the weird thing about that is that
he's in 20. I think he claims to be in 26.
I don't know,
or something like that.
He's in Spain though.
Uh-huh.
It happens in Spain, and he gets into like a sports team locker, a museum, a federal building. He's at the beach and there's nobody around. He's at the stadium and there's nobody around. I don't know how that guy pulled it off. It was in the middle of the pandemic though.
Mm-hmm.
So that
made it probably pretty easy.
It made it pretty easy.
Oh, there was complete lockdowns.
Yeah, they're in the lockdown, he did this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he did it. It's a compelling thing. It's interesting.
It's fun.
I don't really believe it, but
I have a hard time believing it too. I have a very hard time believing it too. And I think there was even one video where there was like a shadow of a person in the background, and people are all like, "There it is, it's bunk."
He also takes a cop car in the videos.
Yeah,
walks into a police station. Nobody's there. I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back.
You'll be right back.
Hold it down.
All right, let's see what other news we have here, folks. I'm going to see what's what. We have Laura Loomer. What's she talking about? Congressional candidate and investigative journalist back on the scene. Laura Loomer confronted Congresswoman... Where's the damn article? Confronted Congresswoman Val Demings. And the article's not here. I guess it's a video. I guess it was over gun control. The January 6th stuff, I was trying to tell Barnes, though. I forget what the actual ratings were, but there was reports that the January 6 ratings for those time slots are lower than the average normal nightly news ratings. So people are, in general, uninterested in the facade, the fake bullshit that's going on with Jan 6. We got 500 million earmark for political allies. Biden seeks another 500 million. That's nice. What else here?
And we're back.
And Barnes is back. Oh, Ezra Miller might be getting fired. It's almost a definite now.
Does anybody even know where he is? Did they find his ass?
They can't find him, no. But I think DC's just like, okay, well, we can't have this. This is too hot.
Right.
The dude's a fucking complete druggie, and he basically groomed a kid since 12, and now they've disappeared together.
He groomed a kid?
Well, I guess they've been friends since, the kid was 12.
Really?
And now he just I don't know how old the person is. I'm wanting to say 18 now, but they're on the run or something.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Flash is on the run.
Wow.
The Flash, and I think he's done.
Kraken, huh? You ever heard Kraken?
Kraken? Released a Kraken?
Well, yeah, except the company.
Never heard of him.
I guess their CAO, they're all right. So according to Wikipedia or whatever, fucking Kraken is a United States-based cryptocurrency exchange and bank founded in 2011. So the CAO basically told anyone who's allowing their activism to interfere at the bottom line to take a hike.
Well, Elon just did that with SpaceX, right? As well.
Yeah, SpaceX.
I think Netflix has just done that as well.
Netflix did that. Elon had a free speech message with the Twitter employees. Did you see that?
No.
So he's talking about, anything that's within the legal limits of the law, they should allow.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Makes sense. All right.
I did see I watched most of that video call that Veritas released of the call with the Twitter employees. And if you're any normal person watching that, I don't know why you wouldn't agree with everything Elon said. Just like, he's a moderate person who believes everybody should be able to have their voice heard.
Voice heard, right? Or at least an opportunity to have their voice heard.
Mm-hmm. I saw a good meme, like this. It's whenever you get pulled over by the police, the guy just had a sign he was holding up that says, "Nancy Pelosi is my wife." Your get out of jail free card, folks.
That's funny.
So, yeah, I believe the bubble babies are starting to get bursted.
Bubble babies?
Softies that are like fucking, cotton candy heads.
Well, I mean, reality's reality. So, I mean.
Well, I feel like institutions are starting to feel, like you said, the bottom line's getting hurt.
Oh, yeah, the bottom
and they're
line's
finally
getting
being like, fuck, this isn't taking. This social experiment we tried to push, it's not working.
CNN's new guy is saying he wants changes. He wants more integrity, basically.
Well, they're going to have fucking do a lot of work to get that back. CNN's been shot for a long time.
Now, here's something I saw this week. It's a interview of Ted Turner where he talks about a culling of the population.
Yep. A lot of people been talking about that for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. fucking Bill Gates.
Oh, yeah. That chick on Jesse Ventura.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I didn't know Teddy was on video saying that. It wouldn't be surprised me if he's the one that put in the Georgia Guidestones.
I've thought that before, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought Ted Turner
put in the Georgia Guidestones.
The only thing that I had to go on is that CNN's in Atlanta. That's He's not from Atlanta or Georgia.
I don't know where the fuck he's from.
I'm pretty sure he's from Montana or some shit.
Montana.
Flyover country.
I don't know how many times I've had to tell people I know that are just they've been brainwashed by the social media and all the anti-Trump stuff. How many times I'm like, the people in flyover country are so much nicer than the people fucking like you.
Yeah, they are.
They're like, Rah! I'm like, you are not a good person, and you think you're fucking just the best.
I mean, I've been to places in the United States where there's nobody from outside the county that's coming to this place in 30 years, and everyone's looking at you. But they're nice people.
Yeah, I mean, so what, they got God and guns that are, repulsive to your friggin' sensibilities, Mr. Lefty. But that's only because you've been brainwashed into that over the past. I don't know how many times I've seen on social media just like memes like that are, equating people with religion with like they're like lesser forms of humans because they believe.
Right.
And I'm just like, there's why do people give a shit what people believe?
Really?
You're being brainwashed about fucking, something that just provides people with something in their life to keep them on the straight and narrow, and fulfills their humanity.
People make fun of me because I think that there's an imaginary guy looking at me all the time, making sure I do the right thing when no one else is looking. So I'm going to do the right thing when nobody else is looking because I got an imaginary friend, and you're going to criticize that.
Well, to me, it just seems like they.
So I'm just doing the right thing.
They I remember I liked Bill Maher's religious fucking movie. It was funny, but and I was, pretty much brought up fucking like an atheist. But I never saw anything wrong with people that practice religion. I never thought it was like, oh, they're fucking crazy. I know my dad was very much against that and always had a good time with people that were religious, making fun of them. But I don't know. I just figured, fuck, we're in a free country. People are going to do what they want to do.
Yeah. We are in a free country. Most religions are harmless. They're good things. And that's
the big argument. The big argument is like, well, all the wars in the past were because of religion. That's what everybody likes to say. Like, religion's the worst killer of,
So the Russian Civil War and then when communism took over was because of religion. What?
I don't know. That's just, I know the main talking point. Excuse me. When people get all,
Where's religion in the current war in Ukraine? Is that a factor? I don't think it is.
Well, I mean, you got the friggin' Nazis over there. The Nazis.
All right. So what was that movie? Fucking The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
The one guy goes, say what you want about Nazism. At least it's an ethos. At least it's a belief system.
Yeah.
These guys are nihilists.
Well, I guess it just goes back to what we were just saying. What do you care what people believe? I guess you can, when you do care, like, if it's something that's bad, like, in general, sure.
I mean, I'm Catholic, but I don't trust the fucking Jesuits. They're Catholic order I don't trust. I think they're evil.
They probably, most likely are.
Most likely are. All right. Another thing, this is one that this one kills me, is the Luciferians are always going on about Christianity. I'm like, you are practicing Christianity. Like, Lucifer's Christian. What are you talking about? It's part of the pantheon. Yeah, another thing is that the Vatican exists as a fucking sovereign state again, which is a fucking atrocity. This has all been about papal states for the last fucking couple 100 years, but having a sovereign fucking papal state has always gone wrong. It's never gone good. I don't know why they keep bringing it back. I mean, I know why it came out now, because Mussolini couldn't control the church, so he made them their own little fucking state instead.
Yeah.
But it's, the 70s banking fucking scandal with the Vatican, that's still going on. They never got to the bottom of that. They killed that Pope in fucking 33 days. He died, and then the nun that found him took a vow of silence that morning.
It's like The Godfather Part 3.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. Basically, they probably just modeled it after that.
Yeah. I mean, Italians are traditionally Catholic usually.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's part of the system. There's also like a weird, like, silence in the Catholic Church, and it's not necessarily about even criminal things. It's just some things you just don't talk about in church. Or
Uh-huh.
whatever. I mean, outside church, who gives a fuck? But yeah, like, you know, there's a lot of evil stuff going on in the church, and the church has done a lot of evil things, but they've done a lot of good things too. You know, they preserved the Latin language. You know, they preserved a lot of knowledge during the Dark Ages.
They preserved a lot of artwork.
A lot of books.
That's what pisses me off is the books, because you know they got shit that they don't let other people see.
Yeah,
that fucking sucks. There's like probably some mad knowledge, just like we're talking about with big oil. When there's these institutions of power and they find stuff that is probably really helpful to the masses, they just fucking put it in the closet.
Put in the closet. Yep.
Say fuck them.
I'm making money off the unhelpful way.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I mean, who knows what's in the Vatican Library, but it's probably fucking amazing.
It probably is. I'm sure there's a lot of old Mayan shit in there and Aztec that they stole or conquered or whatever you want to call it, brought back. I know they destroyed a lot of that shit too. So, but that wasn't necessarily the church.
Dude, I saw a video recently of the Vatican, like archives of something. They got so much Egyptian shit. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, of course they do. Yeah.
Insane how much Egypt. They got like a whole museum in the Vatican just of Egyptian stuff.
Right. Richest mile in the world or whatever. Quarter mile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Vatican definitely has stuff. And, you know, like I was saying, Catholicism is an old tradition. It's 2,000 years old, you know, almost now. So they've seen a lot of things come and go, you know, so certain things don't hit their radar because they've seen past that already. But, you know, if you're truly evil, one of the things you would want to do is take over the church, right? Like if you're really a Luciferian or a Satanist or something, you would want to covertly take over the church. And I
usurp its power.
Yeah, I think that's happened in the Catholic Church for a while now. That's what I...
You think that's why they're all fucking dressing like fucking... I don't know. There's just... I remember there was a big scandal with the last Pope, Benedict.
Well, he resigned.
Resigned because, there was like... I don't know how deep it went, but there was definitely all kinds of accusations of freaking homosexuals, like just parties and fucking
people got busted by the Italian government. You know, it happens in the Vatican, which is a separate country, but
so is that like what you're saying, where you feel it's already been taken over? It's already been usurped?
I believe that somewhere in the 20th century, certain orders within the Catholic Church were infiltrated by non-believers who wished to bring down the Catholic Church, and that perforated in certain orders within the Catholic Church, most namely the Jesuits.
I feel like you are correct, and this is just an old playbook by, it's been probably around since ancient China, and that's just like what's happening with the World Economic Forum, and then what they're doing right now with pretty much every country they can get their fucking paws on.
When Francis became Pope, I became a city Vaticanist, which means basically I don't believe the popes since John Paul.
Okay.
Since him, I think they've all been staged.
Right.
And I believe that
there's that ancient prophecy, like there's only supposed to be how many popes left?
You're referring to the prophecy of Saint Malachi, which may or may not be true.
I think they already passed the number of how many popes they said, right?
Well, the last one, according to Saint Malachi, would be Peter Romanus, which lines up to be Saint Francis. Now, the odd thing, not Saint Francis, Pope Francis. Now, the odd thing about Pope Francis is
he who's in right now?
Yeah, Pope Francis is in right now, but there's two popes, technically. Pope Benedict is still alive.
So just because he retired doesn't mean he's still not a pope.
Right.
Since he resigned, he's still a pope.
He's still a pope. He's not Bishop of Rome.
Okay.
Which is the official position of the pope.
Okay.
But the church is really run by the primates. It's a title.
The monkeys?
A title within the church, yeah.
The primates?
Yeah, the primates. So there's 2 major primates, and they are like divided in east and west, and they handle the majority of church affairs. So there's the New World, which is, in the Americas, and there's the Old World, which is over there within the church. And the majority of the New World takes place in Latin America. Like the majority of their operations and their power base is Central and South America, Latin America, with the exception of Cuba, because there's allegedly atheist, but they still have Catholic meetings there and stuff. They're a communist country with Catholicism still going on. They tried to stop it. I mean, that's like when,
Cuba tried to stop
religion
practicing religion in the country.
Yeah, it's communist.
All communists are like that?
I mean, true communism is,
Get rid of the religion.
Allegiance to the state over God, yeah.
Right.
I mean, same thing with fascism is allegiance to the state over anything else.
That's kind of what's happening here.
Yes, that is what's happening here.
People are being told to trust the state no matter what.
I trust my neighbor more than I trust the fucking state. Even if I don't like that neighbor.
Get that through your head.
Even if I don't like my neighbor, I trust them more than the state.
Yes, you have to.
Yeah.
We are the people. We're the state.
We're the state, yeah.
Not the fucking people up
No.
in the positions of power.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the bigger the government grows, the less that they care about the individual. Like if I was a president and you were my only citizen, I'm going to take care of you, make sure you vote for me again next time so I could still be president.
Mm-hmm.
But the more of you I have, the less important your individual
is. Yes.
Yes, because now I have a larger group
Mm-hmm.
of people. And the larger group of people you have, the less you can protect certain individuals. So it all becomes homogenized, kind of like. To me, that's the wrong word, the opposite word, right? It all becomes mixed and watered down, because you can't look out for, like, say I was passing laws that benefited you. Now I have 3 of you. I can't benefit laws that only benefit you because now the other 2 are going to be pissed off.
Well, that's what's exactly going on.
That's what's going on. Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to pass laws for Nancy Pelosi's husband.
Yeah.
We're going to pass laws for ourselves.
And when
we just got to hide it, though.
When she was asked about, like, should lawmakers be allowed to trade stocks that they have some influence over, and she said, yeah, like she had no problem.
Well,
with
she's
that.
changed on that, like, recently, where she's been flip-flopping just because she's crazy. But
I mean, if you look at her stock investments, she does better than people who do this for a living.
Yeah, that's nuts. Like, she's a better trader than people on Wall Street.
Yes.
She's
more
just,
successful.
She's just
somehow.
good.
Come on.
You're telling me you think she's fucking cheating?
Yeah. I'm telling you, I think she's cheating.
I don't believe it. She's fucking honest.
She's not honest.
She's a princess.
No fucking way.
I just can't believe people think like this. People love her. They're like, she speaks. The people that like Amber Heard like her.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Mm-hmm.
It's the other side says the same thing about Trumpers, though.
Yeah, they're gonna say fucking.
They love Trump and most of us are like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but I like people that can say, like, they can predict the future, like we're talking about with the gas and Biden. Like, you vote for Biden, you're gonna be paying $7 a gallon. It's like, here we are. You know what? It's just another I told you so. And
future proofs past.
Future proofs past.
That's what I thought when I heard Assange was coming back in June.
Yeah.
Somebody said that on the internet many years ago.
Yeah, you get in trouble for talking about him.
Can't talk about him.
But no matter, PSYOP that's fucking involved with, I just like, and I've talked about it on the show, but when Trump was like, yeah, we got the people over there protecting the oil fields, and it's like, you don't hear people talk like that are a fucking, even senators or fucking congressional fucking members. It's like, he just spoke the truth. It was just like, yeah, all we care about is the fucking oil. And it's like, yeah,
he was right.
Jesus Christ. It's like, at least he's not
bullshitting me about this.
yeah. We're trying to protect
Iraqi
so-and-so.
lives.
Yeah.
No, we're just there for the oil. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's like when Madeleine Albright, she was asked, was the war in Iraq worth it, even though it took 1 million children's lives? She said, yeah, I'll do it again. It's like, what? These people are fucking crazy, man.
Yep.
At least she could have shown some compassion then in that interview, but she didn't.
So, that's people like Nancy Pelosi and then them saying, oh, well, the Trumpers are fucking threat to democracy. It's like,
that's so weird.
It's like, what do you think you are? Oh, here we are. The country's about to fall apart.
Yeah.
I'm calling you the threat to democracy because we ain't going to have one anymore.
No. I mean, that's like, the George Floyd riots. They were saying the same shit. It's like you're burning down the fucking city.
Yeah, there's over like $2 billion in damages fucking countrywide.
Well,
fucking 20-some people
dead. It wasn't countrywide.
I know. You know exactly where it happened. Only in the place where...
Electro votes happened, yeah. If you had electro votes, you had a George Floyd riot. Not in the blackest
So they were
places,
targeted just like the fucking cities that turned the fucking bellwether states against the classic fucking... The longest standing election tradition in fucking the bellwether states
Bellwether counties.
Bellwether counties. Those ones always predict the fucking
Always
winner.
predict.
And it just happened to be that in this election they were wrong.
They were wrong. Yeah.
Because there were cities that were targeted with fucking ballots from stuffing them fucking full.
Well, that's another thing. I guess the Sousa's lawyer said that all the evidence they have wasn't in the movie.
They got more.
They have more evidence. They just didn't present it in the movie.
Yeah, that's 2000 Mules.
2000 Mules. It's on BitChute.
Check it out, everyone. It's I haven't watched it yet, but I did get to watch What Is a Woman.
What'd you think?
It's fucking amazing.
It's pretty funny, I thought.
It's funny as hell. I mean, Matt Walsh to me is a little bit schmarmy. I mean,
okay, I can see that.
Yeah, he's a little schmarmy, I think. I'm not a big fan. But he does do a good job of making those people look like fucking fools.
I was impressed with the amount of poise that he showed.
When when all of a sudden people are getting aggravated.
Yeah, and he's still poised. Like,
mm-hmm.
And he's still sharp thinking. Yeah, like, what reality is that? The reality that says we're both in the same room right now?
yeah.
That one?
Yep.
You got to be a woman to describe one. What is a cat? Can you tell me what a cat is?
Are you a cat?
Are you a cat?
No. Can you tell me what a cat is?
He just walked away.
I can't believe he couldn't get anyone to just say an adult female.
He got the one lady to say it.
Yeah, but she's friggin' on the side of...
She's on his same side.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, this is a fucking psychological problem.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And, it's going to have a tremendous effect on our society.
Dude, there's going to be so many suicides in the future
mm-hmm.
with those people. It sucks.
Well, it's because they have the highest rate of suicides.
They already got it. Yeah, but it's now there's going to be so many more people involved.
It's like that one woman Scott said, or man, or whatever, trans man, right? She's a woman.
I felt horrible for her.
Yeah. She said, it got me at 42. Like, this whole propaganda got me up.
Mm-hmm.
Your child doesn't stand a fucking chance.
Yeah.
And, she's absolutely right. She's never going to be a man. Like, no matter, she's a woman who's cosmetically had surgery to look like a man.
Yep.
But she's never going to fit in, she realized. She's never going to be a man. She doesn't understand it. And
she was a hottie, too.
She was.
Wow.
She was a hottie. She was a lipstick lesbian, I guess.
Yep.
And
she got fucking caught up in it,
mm-hmm.
went for it, and now she's fucking miserable.
She didn't get any help.
She thinks she's going to fucking die.
Yeah, she didn't get any help with the complications. There was no talk about that pre-hand. Even when she brought it up, she wasn't, the problems that she's encountered weren't addressed to her at that time. And, she's living with regret, that's a big regret. I've had bad dreams where bad stuff happened, my member, and I wake right up like, what the fuck am I going to do? Even in the dream, I'm like, what am I going to do with the rest of my life?
You sick fuck.
My life has no meaning now.
You had fucking bad dreams where you got castrated?
Well, one time on the internet, I saw it, and it just left me.
It's been haunting you.
Oh, dude.
Why would you watch such
I didn't know
things?
it was going to happen. And all of a sudden, this kid does it. And I'm like, holy fuck, did I just see that?
It's not a good
and
thing.
when the hell did this happen to become normal? Like,
people putting shit like that on the internet?
And, like, there's no warning, nothing. Like, it's just like, oh.
Well, I'm of the mind that that's fine. Because you should have been reading what the fuck's going to happen or done something type of research or what you were watching.
I did.
It's your own damn bad.
But today, you can click on shit and see shootings all the time, people dying. There used to be snuff films. I thought they were illegal.
I mean, that's where we're getting to Elon, where if it's in the realm of the law, yeah, it should be fine. But if it's not, you shouldn't be.
I thought those were illegal, right?
I imagine they are, yeah. But it's
About 10 years ago, I clicked on a thing called Chinese fishing. It was a fucking execution out in the middle of the sea with these Chinese guys. You probably saw it.
I don't recall.
There's these guys floating on like a raft. They get, they have like a buoy or something. They get kicked off this boat. They're in the middle of the ocean. All of a sudden, the guys they gun them down while they're floating, hanging onto the raft, and then they're taking, selfies with it. And I don't know what they're saying because I don't speak whatever it was. It was like it's a Mandarin or Cantonese. That sound Chinese,
Cantonese
or West Taiwanese, whatever you want to call it.
Watch any good movies lately?
Just that Divergent one. It wasn't that good. I did watch the new Obi-Wan.
Yeah, everybody out there, you like the new Obi-Wan or what? I think it's to me, it's shot. It's okay and it's shot at the same time. It's a kids show.
Yes, it's a kids.
It's a damn kids show.
It's not made for hardcore fans who've been following it for 40 years.
Yeah, that's really what it is. Disney's made it into a kids show,
yeah,
which is fine. It's like I get it. You guys own it now. You don't want to make it fucking dramatic.
They were claiming that Moses was getting a lot of hate mail. I don't know if that's true or not.
I think that was just blown out of proportion. And it's mainly because it's not hate mail. It's people just, it's not anything to do with race. It's people just don't like the character.
Well, right, sure.
They don't like the story. They don't like her acting. And fucking, heaven forbid you fucking don't like what we're fucking, the message we're giving you.
Right.
I
think it's cool to see the Inquisitors because I've read about them in books, but
it could have been so much better.
Could have been. Whatever. It is what it is.
I don't watch Rebels or any of the animated shows, so I'm sure people that follow all that are loving this stuff.
Sure. Let's talk about Disney movies. So Lightyear there, banned in 14 countries already.
Buzz Lightyear banned in 14 countries because a kiss.
A gay kiss, I guess. I guess it's the only kiss in the series.
Well, all I know is that Chris Evans is an asshole.
Who's Chris Evans?
He's the guy voicing Buzz. He was the Captain America in the Marvel movies.
Okay.
He was really, his best movie was Not Another Teen Movie. If anybody really wants to see him doing some good acting.
I can't remember that movie.
It's hilarious. But
that was 90s, right?
I guess most of the I guess most of the Marvel actors are just woke assholes. And that, whatever. Let them have at it their wokeness, but it's not doing them any favors when it comes to the fucking box office.
No.
Nobody wants to be told that the star of a movie or the movie you want to go see hates you.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that.
Mm-hmm. It's like, just shut your fucking mouth.
Speaking of Tom Hanks.
Speaking of Tom Hanks.
Speaking of
somebody stepped on his wife's foot the other night. Yeah.
I don't blame him for flipping out on him.
That's what I feel the same way. Yeah, I would be probably the same way. You fucking get the fuck back. But at the same time, if I was his size, I wouldn't act that tough.
True.
Because somebody could have fucking just pancaked him.
Did you notice the large man next to him? That was his bodyguard.
Right.
so he wasn't worried about.
So you can act like an asshole when you're that small, and
yeah, I haven't forgiven him for Mazes and Monsters.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Came out during the Satanic Panic. It's featured Tom Cruise. It was a made-for-TV movie. It was based on Dungeons and Dragons. In this case, in fucking Michigan, where some kid commits suicide or something.
Okay.
Except in Mazes and Monsters, the guy loses his mind. He thinks that the game is real, and he goes to an insane asylum. And they play one last game together, and that's the last they ever saw of their friend.
Yeah, that sounds like a cool movie.
It sucked.
It sucked, though. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear this report? Well, if you got more to say about that shitty movie?
It was his first major role.
Tom Hanks?
Yeah, I've hated him since then.
Yeah, fuck him.
Oh, I did like the Da Vinci Code. That was
Wilson was cool.
Yeah, that was all right.
Wilson!
Yeah, even Forrest Gump was all right. You know, even there was a lot of shit going on in Forrest Gump.
I do like Forrest Gump. That's one of his movies that I'm like, yeah, I could watch this over a few times because it was I think that was Zemeckis, right?
I can't remember.
Robert Zemeckis, I think, did that, if I'm not mistaken. But
there's a lot of Easter eggs in there.
It's a good movie. But I wanted to talk to you about this here. Fucking, there's rumblings of Buttigieg Harris. They want to get rid of Biden. I think that's it's over. I think for him I've seen that in the news cycle. A lot of people calling it done. He's done.
AOC wouldn't say shoot back to him.
I mean, he just
Harris
fell on his damn bike today.
Joke.
He's got a broken hip.
Harris is a joke.
She's a dude. What the? Oh my God, she's got to be.
You know, we've been doing what we're supposed to be doing. What we have to do is continue what we've been doing, and you know, do that. Like her just repeating herself everywhere she goes is just like, what the hell?
She's a dummy. She's what you call a dummy.
Yeah. What was the Colombian president said about her? He could have prepared before you came and talked to us.
She reminds me of just like somebody, you know, of course it's gotten through life on looks and
heels up.
Yeah, what was she was what was the talk show host she was like married to for a while?
She dated Montel Williams.
Right. Dated him for a while. And that's when she got into politics was when she was with him.
Right.
Well, and he basically got her in, I think.
Here's something.
That's what I've heard.
So Delgado is now lieutenant governor? Anthony Delgado.
Okay.
That blows my mind. I've met the guy a few times. He's not too far from my social circles.
Is he an asshole?
Now he is, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, now I can't believe he's lieutenant governor. I'm like, what? He's a shill.
Who is running for governor that's worth a shit?
I don't know. Whoever's not Hochul.
Man, she's fucking a Nazi if I ever seen
Holy
one.
fuck, dude. She's so out of control, and it gets no press.
No. There's like she's just doing whatever she wants up there, and nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody gives a shit. It's like, holy shit. You know, I could tell it's really weak because her last advertisement was about Roe versus Wade. I think I talked about that earlier. Like, they're starting to send campaign shit out for the midterms.
Okay.
And Hochul, as like other Democrat ones I got, was just all about Roe versus Wade. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? What about the rest of the shit? Like, what about record high fucking inflation? What about record high fucking gas prices? How are you going to produce for New Yorkers? Like, it's just ridiculous. How are we going to feed ourselves?
Yeah, that's where we really got to start questioning. Here we go. Rob Astorino is running, I guess, against her.
Astorino, yeah.
What's this guy's story? You know anything about him?
He's not Hochul.
He gets my vote. I mean, it really is. I could care. That's a lesser of two evil fucking mentality right there.
Absolutely. You know, I can't remember what the hell she said. So she said something about godliness is next to being vaccinated or some shit at church.
She's a fucking idiot. Mutt. Hochul's a mutt.
And the archbishop was like, yeah, she's allowed her opinion, I guess.
I'd like to know how we could turn it around so the taxpayers actually get to vote on what the fuck their money gets spent on.
Democracy.
It's not working.
Well, an actual democracy when you vote on every single thing.
Yeah.
Well,
that wouldn't work either, I don't think.
That's too much of a pain in the ass. To vote on every single, basically become a congressperson in your real life.
Yeah.
But that's actual democracy when you vote on every single issue.
I guess it could be done in the internet age, but it's still fucking. You got like the Dominion shit out there. Well, it would just be perverted.
Charterist
instantly.
movements are still happening. You know, like Charterism was a movement that happened in England, where the workers, people who paid taxes, they wanted to vote because prior to that, only landowners could vote. And in the mid 19th century, Charterism took up in England, and the people were like, hey, you know, we're working in the factories. Yeah, we're renting an apartment, but a lot of my paycheck goes towards taxes, and now I'm being taxed without having a voice. And so Charterism took over, and that got the workers' right to vote. We could easily do something like that here. I mean, there's been things, you know, over the last 20 years that have been going that way from, you know, if you remember the Gore election with Bush.
Yeah, I remember it well.
Yeah, that was contested, right? People thought that some shady business happened in that election. You know, then I didn't see it again, actually, to Abrams. Made a big hoof about losing. And how is she the most popular fucking Democrat politician right now? She's not even...
I saw somebody post a picture of her on their whatever social media and says, if she was president or whatever, if only she was in control, the world's problems would be solved in like 3 weeks. And it's like,
no,
this woman hasn't done anything.
She'd be a billionaire, and that's all that would happen. Yeah.
What office has she held?
She held a office in the state government of Georgia. I think she was a congresswoman for Georgia or a senator for Georgia. I don't think she's ever been in the federal government.
I just don't know what the appeal is.
Her biggest claim to fame is losing an election in Georgia.
Same as Beto.
Yes.
But I
would fight him. He might have a reach advantage on me, but I'd fight Beto.
I'd love to fucking beat the fuck out of that guy.
I could take him, I think, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Beto, if you're out there.
All he is just a cheap imitation of Obama.
Mano y mano. Me and you.
I don't see how people don't see these things. It's like all he is a shadow of Obama they're trying to push on you.
Obama took our taxpayers and bailed out the banks. Took our taxpayer money.
I'm not talking about fucking his policies. I'm just talking about his looks and his way of speaking.
His mannerisms?
He's a complete fucking Obama mannequin. He's just a little lighter shade. And that's all they're doing. They're just pushing the looks as like, that's what makes him great. He's a good-looking man.
I thought he was running to Mexico the first time I heard him.
We played the knockout game with him.
Dude, the first time I ever saw him, he starts speaking in Spanish. I'm like, what? I thought this
Beta.
This American?
I think it wasn't a fucking Steven Crowder went and did a big fucking thing on him and the beta males, and they were like making fun of him. I'm a beta male.
I do have something to say.
Beta Roke.
If you hear people speaking Spanish and that annoys you, teach them some English. You know? Just go right on over. Teach them some English. But you learn a few Spanish words while you're there.
Yeah.
You know, just exchange information with these people.
Un poquito.
Poquito, exactly.
Learn a little bit about Spanish. I mean, I would like to know Spanish. I got to learn some new languages. I mean,
I know how to say, baño. Where's the bathroom?
El baño? El baño?
It's very important down there.
La mesa? Oh, a table? Yeah, I would like to know Spanish. It'd be good. And then you know when they're calling you a fucking Asshole.
Right. You know, I could read some French, right? And if you took French in America, I could talk some French with you. But when the Quebecois start talking, I'm like, what the fuck are these people saying?
Yeah, Quebecois.
I have a little bit easier time understanding the French in France than I do other places, I've noticed. I don't know why that is. I am not literate in French at all, but I do know probably a couple thousand words.
Oh, that's good. Did you take it in high school?
I did. Actually, here's something. I'll share the story.
Please do.
When I was in like 10th grade, I wanted to drop down to school level, right? I was struggling in school, and I thought if I drop down to school level, it'll be easier, and I could still graduate.
Uh-huh.
And so I did. Now, the thing about it was...
Because you were in Regents before that?
Whatever, the higher one.
I think it was called Regents.
Whatever they called it. So when I dropped down, they're like, all right, well, you have 1 year of French, but French isn't offered at school level as a language, so you're going to have to take Spanish. I'm like, I'm not taking Spanish.
What the fuck, dude?
And Mr. Summers is like, why? I'm like, everybody I know who speaks Spanish is a criminal.
Ooh.
Well, this is the 80s.
And what'd he say?
He called in my mother about it, and it was a big deal.
And it was basically a joke to you? Were you making it as a joke or no?
No, literally everyone I know who spoke Spanish at that time was a criminal.
Oh, shit. Well, it was the 80s, and you were young. You didn't probably know all that many Spanish-speaking people.
A handful, but...
Right. But they were all fucking doing bad shit.
They were all doing bad shit, right? So they called my mom. My mom said, well, if my son says that, everyone he knows speaks Spanish is a criminal, it's probably telling the truth.
Uh-huh.
And so they made a special class for me in school level for French with Mrs. Shermer, and there was 4 people in it. It was me and Ethan and Stafford and Allison Smith. I haven't seen her in years. And
which Ethan?
Tompkins.
Yeah,
nice. Yeah. And so we took French class. There were only 4 students at school that took French class. She passed us, but that class was like a study hall.
You guys just hung out and fucking shot the shit?
There was only 4 of us, so she got through the curriculum like
instantly for the day.
For the day in like 10 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And then we would just, practice a little bit more, and I guess we were a good class overall, but
I imagine it was a very good class because the less people, just like we were saying with the constituents, she had more time to fucking focus on you.
Oui.
Oui.
Oui. La petite en cuillère.
La bouffe.
La bouffe.
The beef. Beef.
Yeah, as a little schoolboy, she was more attentive. Attention? Yeah, attentive towards. I couldn't say that in French.
Attention.
Attention.
Oh, Fifi. Attention, Fifi. I think we're done for the week, bud.
Are we?
7-11.
Oh, yeah, we're done. We got 3 people on there. Is that a high? Is that a record?
Fuck. No, I think 4. No, I think our first few episodes we had like a 9 at a time.
Oh.
Yeah, we're really fucking making strides and going backwards.
Strides.
We're good.
If you know anybody who would like to listen to me ramble on about nothing for 2 hours once a week.
All I know is we're building one hell of a back catalog. Someday all these fucking are gonna get
someday we're going to get canceled.
We're going to get all kinds of votes and thumbs up.
Waxed by APAC. Come find me.
Let's see what we got going on in analytics.
I don't know.
Let's see. Last week we had 11. No, that's not last week. We got 20 views last week, bud. That's not too bad. 20 views.
That's a lot of pressure.
Well, let's see. Our first episode is up to 140 views.
Anybody comment on anything?
There's a couple comments on the first episode. There's some on comments on episode 4. There's 18 comments on episode 5. Wait, no. Those are views. It's my bad. See, I don't even know what I'm looking at here, bro. All I know is we got to go on air more often. I got to start making little vignettes or something. Or you got to come over and help. Or we got to hook up your phone so you can just do them at home.
I can learn.
I can learn. I can.
All right, so let's get to the bop potatoes. Who's towing the line this week?
Who's towing the line?
I'm going with that was last week, Matthew McConaughey, right?
Yeah, that was last week. I'm gonna say who's towing the line this week. I think it's CNN with their Biden's fucking he can't run. He's done. We're gonna fucking find a new candidate. So they're really dragging that. They're presenting it to the mindless so they can understand what's gonna happen when the time comes.
They're not gonna support Biden.
Nope. It's over and done with. So I guess it would go to Alexandria.
Oh, God.
She's the one towing the line the hardest because they asked her straight up. Will you endorse Biden? She's like, I ain't got time to think about that. We're so focused on the midterms. That's not a yes. I think it was what's her name there? Fucking the blonde-haired girl.
I don't know.
Asked her, what the fuck's her name? Whatever. So, who you got towing the line? I'm going with Alexandria and CNN.
I'm gonna go with fucking whoever released Julian Assange to America in UK. That person's towing the line. Whoever decided, you know what, we should extradite this guy who's, what is he, Swedish?
I forget.
He's either Australian or Swedish.
Yeah.
We're going to release him to America for shit they did against America, which is not illegal.
I can't believe Edward Snowden's still fucking banished.
That's a 50-50. I mean...
He's in Russia, right?
Yeah. He's a whistleblower.
Whistleblowers have no protection. And it was a...
But...
That was an Obama thing, by the way.
Yeah, and it also could have been part of an intelligence community war. Because that's constantly going on in this country where our intelligence communities are fighting each other and we have no clue.
Yeah, I believe a lot of the FBI right now and a lot of the stuff that happened during the Trump administration, it was getting pushback, but those people were just getting fucking pushed out.
Right.
And it's there was a report just recently that they're currently culling anybody that is a fucking Republican from the service.
What service?
The Federal Bureau of Investigation.
They can't do that.
I gotta look it up, but that was news this week. They're actively getting rid of conservatives.
That's got to be illegal.
I would imagine so, because they would make them, fill out these progress and these reports with some personalized questions on it, and then the people that were like leaning to the right got fucking axes recently.
It's not all unheard of. I know there was a time in Sororities where you couldn't join, you wouldn't get, chosen to the police department unless you're a Republican.
Right.
I don't know if that's true anymore. I don't think it is. But, I mean, this is the FBI fucking I. Like,
Crazy.
It is, half the country is Republican.
Or more. I think it's growing. They, Tim Pool brought up a great thing. He's like, what do you think happens when you have 100 Republicans and 100 Democrats, and the Republicans have a birth rate of 2.7, and the Democrats have a birth rate of 1.5.
Right.
What happens in the next generation? You have more conservatives.
You would have more conservatives further down the line, which is part of the illegal thing, But that also expands the power of government because now you got more people, less individuals care.
Well, I just feel like it was a pretty eye-opening point that he brought up the other night. I was like, wow, yeah, the Democrats with all their fucking, I don't want to have a child. I don't care for kids. this and that. I'm happier with my career, and it's like, oh, okay.
Well, that's all part of the big brainwash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I started saying this like 12 years ago. People were talking about the environment, overpopulation, connecting those two. They all sounded like mass murderers to me, because how the fuck do you save that without killing people?
Exactly.
If like what you're saying is true, and there's no way to stop it, we're not going to start living like fucking cavemen again. That's not going to happen. So people got to die. That's the only other solution. Like,
well, you got also at those fucking Davos and fucking the Bilderberg. I didn't see anything from Bilderberg because that's so fucking locked down. But yeah, the WEF and the fucking Davos, there's people being like, we can control people. We can make people smaller. Yeah. We can friggin', humans are now hackable. And it's just like, all of these people are fucking psychopaths.
They're psychopaths. They're trying to play God.
They are playing God.
Right.
And anybody that does that, I have no sympathy for them. None. It's like, just go mind your own fucking business and take care of your own shit. Don't try and be out here trying to hack humans because it's better for fucking your...
I saw that guy give that interview, and at the end he says, we can now make people better than God. I'm like, why the fuck did you say that?
Why are these words coming out of your mouth?
Yeah, just leave that alone. You didn't even have to say that. Like, that was not a necessary sentence. We got your point before that.
Megalomaniacs.
That's exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you even want that power? Like, I don't want that power.
And almost fucking, I'm sure, if not 100% of the people over there, goddamn near all of them, all feel exactly the same.
Oh, yeah.
And Bono is over there with them, just so you know.
Loser. Rattle and Hum, Joshua Tree. That was it. That was the end. Joshua Tree. I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
Zooropa and all that shit was garbage. Everything after that, whatever.
Zooropa.
All that. All the shit in the early 90s was bullshit.
I had the Zooropa album. I still am a little fond of it.
I couldn't do it. I liked the
Edge. I was in electronic music, and they went there. So
they did go there. I like the Edge, but
fuck the Edge. Fuck Bono.
Well, fuck them, but I like his music playing. I do like his guitar style. And
okay, so let's get back to wrapping this up. Right. Fucking tonal line, we got that out of the way. What do
we gotta forget?
Yeah, what must we forget this week?
That Van Jones outlined how the election results could be changed after the election in 2019.
I think what we must forget this week is that and it comes straight from Biden sending that fucking note or message, whatever the fuck he's letter to the oil companies. We must forget that cocksucker fucking shut down all the fucking leases and the pipelines fucking day one of his administration. Day one.
And you hear,
and he's blaming it on other people.
Putin, everybody else. He fell down on his bike because of Putin today.
Yep.
It's funny because I heard the Democrats talk about that, and they were defending it, saying oh well, there's over, so many thousand fucking
more leases they can use. Yeah.
All right, those are speculative spots.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that there's oil there, right? It doesn't mean that
there's spots that they already went and looked and there ain't shit there.
Ain't shit there. It's one of the two, and that doesn't mean if there is oil in those places, that doesn't mean that the local government's going to allow them to take it out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of hoops to jump through yet, but you're telling me that the people that are raising the prices because they're greedy won't go after these land leases because they're greedy? What? What the fuck are you talking about? Either they're greedy or they're not. And if
I could imagine there could be a touch of that in there. I imagine,
sure,
maybe it's too expensive to move the operation to that part of the place, but it's not all the issue.
No, because when people want to come to my business, I make myself available. I make sure that I have the product that they're looking for, and I make the sale because I want to make money.
So, anyways, I think that's what I must forget because. I'm trying not to let people forget it, but it seems like they're They don't even remember that he did that because it wasn't even reported in the news.
No, he's gone on a fucking tirade with executive orders. You know, and
Yep.
it keeps going up with every president in my lifetime. More and
Mhm.
more executive orders each time. I don't know what Biden's at. I think it's 200 something.
Jesus Christ. And then what? Don't say this week. Don't say what?
What can't we say this week?
Well, I guess you can't say fucking.
I know you can say that maybe that the Wuhan lab leaked the virus now. I know you can say that now.
Yeah, you can. But you can't say fucking that January 6th was anything other than an insurrection.
Oh, yeah. No,
Don't say it was fucking just a bunch of bumbling idiots.
Yeah. Who were let in by the police.
Yeah. And then it was stacked with fucking feds and fucking
Antifa members.
Yeah.
I saw that. Them changing
into red Trump
and
supporting
then I saw them
shirts.
in the Capitol building. I'm like, holy shit. And they were causing chaos at the Capitol building.
Yeah.
And
Agitators.
Everyone around says,
agitators.
stop that, man.
Yeah. No, they were getting shouted down. A lot of people are getting shouted down by Trump supporters to stop fucking acting like fools.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting.
And it was fucking scumbag feds and paid agitators.
Now, here's the thing. Like, we only know that these guys are Antifa because they videotaped themselves changing into Trump outfits before they were videotaped inside the Capitol building.
Because of that stupid.
And they even say it on the fucking, delete that. And she didn't delete it. And now we have it as evidence.
What about those fucking knuckleheads that got caught supposedly going in the U-Haul van, the U-Haul to some gay pride parade? It was like supposedly some fucking right-wing far extremist outfit.
Yeah, 31 guys got arrested.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Why would you drive in a fucking U-Haul van? I have 30 guys in the back of a U-Haul van.
How do you get 30 guys in the back of a U-Haul?
Why the fuck would you even do that?
I don't know.
They were all. The best part was I seen a meme. It was like, feds, could you at least change your clothes?
Yeah, yeah.
And it was a picture of the feds and a picture of the guys in their exact same like outfit colors, the tan pants, the blue shirts.
And they're all athletic. I thought that was weird.
And the one guy even had a fucking a bullhorn that said FBI on the side of it.
Fucking operations, man. Psyops.
Psyops upon psyops.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere.
The problem with psyops is that they have to be recognizable within the society, so you know how to alter it.
Most people just don't have any eye for detail.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I found that the one of the biggest issues on fucking online is people don't have an eye for detail. Like, I'll see people post fake shit all the time, and I'm like, how can you not understand? That's like photoshopped, or that's a fake video.
Right.
You know, like, I remember people posting like some guy jumping way up to catch a softball, and they're all like, it's so amazing what the human body can do. And it's like, that's clearly fucking fake.
That's edited. Jackass.
I'm just like, people are fucking dumb.
Yeah. Overall, I mean, I'm sure I'm guilty of it myself.
I've done some dumb shit in my life, but I mean, I have more of an eye. I mean, maybe that makes me not a good person because I'm not trustworthy with other people, because I have a very fucking, a speculative fucking, or not speculative. What the fuck was the right word? But yeah, I'm gonna scrutinize.
Right. I
fucking most stuff that comes into my element or my universe. I'm gonna give it a fucking shit fucking test and be like, smell test that fucking thing.
Well, yeah, you're right.
If it smells like shit, it is shit.
people have downplayed the importance of pattern recognition in our times, and that was something that made primates and mammals, better than everyone at surviving, because we recognize like, oh, there's seasons, they're kind of keep coming around every year. Like
If you
stars are in the same spot every time.
If you talk about it in those terms, it's really a good way to discuss it, because like the patterns are being whittled down so people only recognize a small amount of patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like all you recognize is the pattern of fucking, you feeling fucking good and fucking,
right.
And you don't want anything to disturb that pattern. So you're only going to go towards the pattern, your bubble pattern. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start to recognize these patterns, people are like, that's not true, and
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's like Russell Brand said today. He's like, I don't know what to think about it except that old saying where, the difference between a conspiracy theory and the news is 6 months or whatever.
Yeah.
Now it's down to like 2 weeks.
It's getting fucking bad. Yeah, maybe we are close to the fucking singularity. That fucking AI is gonna wake up and we're all just gonna be fucking fucked, or we're all gonna all of a sudden hear fucking shit in our heads.
Maybe. They're saying that with 6G, they were saying this with 5G too, that you won't need an interface to get on the internet.
It'll just be in the air.
It'll just be in the air.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You won't need a modem.
You won't need a cell phone, they're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that,
Well, it's all military stuff. Let's just get that out the way. Anything that's fucking modern technology, it's coming from the military. It ain't fucking no lab by some private company. It's been fucking given to the private company by the military.
Now, can the military? Because I've heard a lot of reports of people in the military who have made confessions about like trying to find about black projects and being denied by corporations who have taken their operations overseas. Are still American companies entrusted with American secrets, but yet don't operate here, don't manufacture here, don't have their headquarters here. So that shit's all fucking compartmentalized. A lot of it.
Everything is.
Especially if because the government obviously has access to the patent files, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you would figure that the military would have some privy on that to know what's going on. So I would say, the military industrial complex has it all.
Well, on that note, everyone, we didn't even use Barney's nice new feature all that much.
No,
but next week, we're going to hit it hard.
I'll have more for you.
I was thinking you could make like a folder and just toss memes into it, and then you could just bring it up and go scroll through them. Yep.
Unfortunately, I erased a lot of that recently, but
we blew it. We blew it.
I got to erase the Northman on here, too.
Alrighty.
Which was given to me by the director.
It's for fucking
review. It was a review.
Review only.
Review only.
Well, thanks for stopping by this week, everybody who came by and gave us a watch, and I hope you may have heard something you haven't heard.
I hope you 3 people have a wonderful day and weekend.
Until you tell all your friends to start watching. You 3 people, tell your friends.
You go to
those
your friends
3.
and you say,
you watch this shit.
You watch this fucking shit. I'll kick the shit out of you.
We're going to call them. They're going to come to your house. They're going to beat the crap out of you.
So watch and tell your friends, or we'll come beat you up.
Yeah, beat the crap out of that like button.
Crap out of you. Kick it.
All right, so I'll see you next week.
Next week.
Remember, wherever you go, there you are.